Welcome back to the finals day of the PML Burway Open, live from Burway Bowling Club this afternoon in Ludlow, Shropshire. The first of the last 8 quarterfinals matches has just begun, with Dan Taylor scoring at the first end against Yorkshire's Josh Mordew. Second game on is going to be Jack Desmond versus Ant Harper, and that game's just about to begin. Both players have been off for quite some time now because we had the last 16 top half was played, and then there was a very brief interval before the last 16 bottom half was played. And particularly, which game was it? Jack Desmond winning 21-3 has been off the green for a good maybe hour and a half or a little bit longer now. This afternoon we're due to see as well Callum Raitt versus John Dewey, and Josh Bradburn versus Scott Harris will make up the quarter-final. So wonderful prize fund for anybody just joining us on the live feed from Burway, thanks to some incredible sponsorship. £1,300 to the winner. The runner-up will receive £700, and currently the players are playing just for £100. The difference between the quarter-final being £300 and the semi-final being £400. So not a massive split between these games, but obviously once you get to the semi-final stage you start looking at the money above, and really generous at the top end today. Just speaking with Jesse James beforehand, the last 16. We probably will be joined with some other guests for commentary throughout the afternoon, but for now it's just with me as we get these quarterfinals underway.
Steve Birmingham's going to come and join you in a minute. Perfect. Alright. I'm trying to find someone for the semi-final, but it's a bit... Harry's chickened out now. He's heard me up there and he's like, oh! I was trying to get Paul Willie to come up there because he's... Yeah. Yeah, I said that. I was like, but, once I got up there, is it? Yeah, it's alright. He said, I'm only going up there if you go up there, so I might just come up with him. That's fine. Oh, can you? No, that's fine. Alright, I'll come up with him. We'll do the semis, me and him. Wait, well then, didn't he? Yeah, he played really well. Well then. You beat him in the champs as well. Yeah, I said that up there. I'm pretty sure he did it out. Oh, he did, yeah, he beat him. Yeah, he did, yeah. I remember watching it online. So he knew he could beat him. I think Roy having known a little bit about the green as well, out.
If we can have the remaining 2 quarterfinals on the green, please. Callum Raitt and John Dewey, Josh Bradburn, Scott Harris.
We're just at the very early stages of the quarterfinals. Dan Taylor and Josh Mordew on the green, Jack Desmond and Ant Harper on the green. Dan's familiar to the locals. Josh travelling the 3-hour trip down, say from Yorkshire, from his home of Clitheroe at the minute. And then we've got Jack and Ant. Ant from the Wales area, not too far away. There's a lot of crossover, I think, between Shropshire and Welsh bowls. And Jack from Derbyshire. So they're the 4 players on the green at the minute in the quarterfinals, soon to be joined by Callum Raitt, John Dewey, Josh Bradburn and Scott Harris. So as these games get underway, we will probably focus on one of the matches. We'll just let all of the players find their feet a little bit. A couple of them re-warming up after quite a long break in the last 16. But as we start to get to the more serious end of the competition, the quarterfinals onwards, the players will be looking to get into full flow and stay on the green and play a little bit quicker. That's the first time that they've been running this competition after a number of years in different formats, and so they are looking for a little bit of feedback and think about how they can improve it. Speaking to Jesse before the quarterfinal started, he was saying that there's a lot of people involved this year. It's really well run competition, but there's going to be a few teething issues and a few things need to iron out. Maybe the speed of play might be one of those. It's helping us in the commentary box get ourselves organised and stay refreshed. But for the players, sometimes the little gaps and breaks in play can be to the detriment, particularly if you're ever on the losing end. But Josh Mordew trying to get in a little bit of longer grass, playing to this bottom corner now, well out of shot. Ant Harper with a great win over Jason Jones in his opening match. Takes a very narrow early lead against Jack Desmond, who was very convincing against Ed Brownlove, 21-3 in his opening game. And they're soon to be joined on the green by the leading out of John Dewey in Derbyshire and Callum Ray, that's waiting to send his first bowl of the quarterfinals. So we will be drifting the camera around a few different games at the minute, just to give you a bit of a taste of the full competition. Get a few different players on the screen this afternoon, and then we'll settle into one of the games, which we'll decide on a little bit later as they progress. For the time being, Dan Taylor with a good lead up to the middle against Josh. A long way from deep in these corners to the middle of the green. It's probably, if anybody plays on a very small postage stamp green, this will be further than the corners. It's catching both players out now. And as we mentioned earlier in the commentary, a very, very steep crown, a very, very big button in the middle of this green when you're quite close to it, which may not be coming across on your cameras, on your screens this afternoon. Josh setting it up on the inside, definitely a better length. Might just be overplayed, fractionally. 1 to Dan. So Dan Taylor leads Josh Mordew 5-3. Josh, remember, had a slow start in his last 16 game, 17-12 down, and just managed to get out 21-19 in the end to local bowler Nathan Baker. And Dan had a slightly different match against the seasoned and experienced Wayne Rogers. So final quarter-final game just gets underway now. Scott Harris against Josh Bradburn. Josh had a good win against Chris Mordew, and Scott Harris very convincing 21-7 win against Ant Rogers. Those players haven't been off the green too long, so we expect them to be a little bit fresher and straight into the stride, whereas some of those players at the top of the draw did have a good hour wait there, while those last 16 games were being finished. Welcome a new voice into the commentary box this afternoon as the sun begins to shine. Steve Birmingham. Steve, you brought the sunshine with you up onto the scaffolding, which was much appreciated. We got a little bit wet and cold a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
What do you make of the tournament so far, and tell us a little bit about your involvement?
So yeah, so far today, really happy with how it's going. Got a great field of 16 that will have made it. A lot of big names. Yeah, a lot of big names didn't quite make it to this stage. So we've been really happy with the quality of the field through all the qualifiers. Didn't fill every qualifying session, but we're hoping that, you know, as a first year, word of mouth will get out, and then next year we can kick on again.
Absolutely, yeah. I spoke to we're speaking to Jesse a little bit, and he said obviously it's a long way, isn't it, down here from it's right on the periphery. It's right on the edge of it.
I think Shropshire, nobody knows where it is. They don't realise how big it is when they get here either.
Yeah,
so,
it's a beautiful area. We've had a really long drive, but it felt like a long drive off the motorway. And I think somebody mentioned a few minutes ago to us that when you get beyond the castle, it's flat Greenland after that.
That's right, Herefordshire.
For
just on the border with Herefordshire.
Yeah. But in terms of those players that want to play highly competitive bowls on a really good green at a really good venue, I mean the club's offering everything, and if there's one final thing that we know that bowlers like, it's the attractive prize fund. So I think for future years you're definitely hitting the nail with a few of the key criteria that we're looking for.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's your involvement been then, Steve, in the run up to the competition?
So we've all had sort of we've got a little WhatsApp group where we've all sort of taken our own little bit that we're doing. Jess is the salesman, sort of taking the entries. I've been the one with the spreadsheet, trying to work it all out, trying to keep them all apart and trying to keep everyone happy.
It's difficult, isn't it? Especially if you've got people travelling together and preferences, and then no doubt a few people.
I found half the problem was when it got to the payment, chasing up payment.
Yep.
Trying to remember where they'd applied, where the application came through, whether it's through Messenger or WhatsApp or a text message. So it was just trying to remember where they all were was half the problem.
I think for all the competition bowls that everybody's looking for and craving all the time, sometimes the actual players don't help themselves in terms of the admin and following the basic instructions of following a message, sending it to the right number, or particularly parting with their entry money when required.
Yes.
And again, speaking on behalf of competition organisers around the country, it just helps if players take that little bit of responsibility and do their bit to help you out, and make sure that they fulfil their promises and come on the day as they've said they're going to do, and send their money if they said they're going to send it, and then this is what they're getting in kind of a receipt of that. They get a great green, great venue, and a great community, if you like, in terms of your members, in terms of what they're offering.
Yeah. Well, we've during the qualifiers, we're trying to work alongside the PML Burway Open at the same time. So knowing that how far away we are, we're just hoping that there would be, if people wanted to make a day of it, or maybe even a weekend of it, maybe because we'd staggered our qualifying sessions differently to the meal, so we didn't want to clash with them.
Yeah.
So allow the opportunity if they wanted to say qualify at meal on the Saturday morning. We had a Saturday evening session if they wanted to come down, or we had a Sunday session. We had Friday night sessions, which were very popular.
Yep.
So it's really.
I think it's great. I mean, obviously there's Friday night bowls down here is a bit of like the prominent league on a Friday.
That's
so
right,
if you're nipping in before that, you're going to get people wanting to have a go, maybe the local ones. But those that are travelling a good 2.5 hours or more, doubling up with meal brace like that is a perfect for the competition players that are willing to put the money in and go and travel and do 2 competitions in the same day.
That's right. We've got a good rapport with the Rob Burrows who organises the meal brace open, and he's helped us and sort of mentioned our competition when he was taking entries for his. So we've tried to help him with his, and he's helped with ours. So we are grateful to Rob for his assistance as well.
So apart from the obvious with the formidable Callum Rate, who else is impressing you this afternoon? Who can you see going all the way?
Well, I mean, sort of been like a bit of a blue horse fly running, doing everything, so I haven't seen too many of it. Just looking at the results, I think John Dewey to beat Owen Jackson as comfortably as he did must have been a really good performance. I know he's got a tough one now with playing Callum.
He did, but he was outstanding in that match. He led impeccably most of the way through. Owen was scratching his head thinking, I don't really know what to do to score here. So I think you're right in picking that out. The score, sometimes the score doesn't reflect the performance, but in that match it certainly did. John was very, very impressive, just dropped on a length, and he's played. I mean, we know what Callum's game is, we know what he wants to play, and we know how good he is, but John has been playing that similar type of length.
So
we're seeing Callum have an early pause for a wet rag, so maybe he's
giving it the mind
not
games already.
quite well. There are lots of comments about what he does and what he doesn't do and so on. I just want to make sure we get these scores in the right order then, because I think am I right in thinking the scoreboards have all been set up now in the order of play?
That's it. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4
Yeah.
should match
So
the quarterfinal order.
for an update for those people watching on the screens at home, we've got Dan Taylor and Josh Mordew is 6 apiece. That game's a little bit more advanced because they were the first game on. Josh doing what he normally likes to do, which is stretch as far away as he can. And Dan leaving this short. The second game we've got Ant Harper versus Jack Desmond, and Ant Harper is 6-4 in front. Should hopefully the markers have got those the right way around. We've got Callum Raitt and John Dewey at 3 apiece, and Callum just having a slight break in play there for his little wet cloth. And at the bottom of the Joe, we've got Josh Bradburn, who is 3-1 up in front of Scott Harris. Josh was rather impressive against Chris Mordew, and Scott Harris had a very impressive 21-7 win against Ant Rogers. That's probably an interesting game for two like more localish players, if you like, that with Josh Bradburn and Scott Harris, how that's going to go. I think both players look comfortable in the first matches. Yep. I'm interested to see how that one's going to play out. That could be, I think that could be the game that's last on the green. They were last to start, but I could see that being the last match on the green. I think I can see that being a tight match.
Yeah, there'll be nip and tuck, I'm sure. Yeah.
So in terms of, are you a play member here, Steve? Are you?
Well, I was. I've moved away from the area, so I play my bowls elsewhere now, but still heavily involved down here.
Where have you moved to?
Shifnal, so just outside of Telford.
Yeah, yeah.
So I play there nowadays.
I think I've heard it. Is there a Shifnal League that might have heard of it? Or is it
Shropshire League, which is what we.
Yeah,
there
might be Shifnal in the mid Shropshire. Then yes, I think we've come across. For my team at Pudsey, come across a few of those teams in the various British parks and the team events and so on.
So that's where I'm playing. But this was where I learned how to play bowls, and I don't know if you've picked up on the little green that we've got here on the
there's
green
just
number 2, which
small
is
green, very very different in size, scale, and with a cut-off corner as well.
It's a pig of a green, I'll be honest with you. So that has had an extension since you can probably see where the corners of that was extended about 20 years ago.
Ah, right.
So it's even smaller than
wow, it really was a postage stamp then.
And it is. Yeah, learning to play on it is. I played on it for 10 years and I never cracked it, so that probably explains why I'm a better organiser than player.
So I think we will just keep dropping around these various matches to give everybody a bit of a sense of the afternoon before zoning on one. They're all very closely contested at the moment. Like we said, Dan Taylor just goes behind 6-7 with Josh Mordew, who is unsurprisingly aiming for apex to apex and playing it rather well. Seeing that top left-hand corner on, you'll see with the camera panning into the left in a minute. Some good balls from Josh Mordew, putting Dan under a bit of early pressure. Ant Harper 6-5 in front of Jack Desmond. Again, these two players both having to find a length after a little bit of a break. But Jack seems to be getting back into his stride quite quickly now. And Ant's thrown this underneath. Nowhere near with this shot. Does it leave 2? It leaves them both. So Jack Desmond 7-6 in front of Ant Harper in the early exchanges. Callum Raitt 5-4 in front of John Dewey. I can see ourselves getting drawn to that match because Callum is the entertainer, and if John pushes him all the way, we'll no doubt keep an eye on what's going on there. And then the final game, we see Josh Bradburn just take an early advantage, 5-2 with Scott Harris. Probably Josh played a little bit. I think going on this green, Steve, bring you back into for a minute. There's a lot of different marks, there's a lot of different distances.
Yeah.
Scott had a very comfortable win in his opening match, 21-7, whereas Josh was a little bit, 21-12 against Chris Mordew, still a really good win, but definitely got it to experience more of the green.
Yes.
And that possibly something that's going to come into his favour in the next few minutes.
Yeah, so Josh is sort of plays down here in the Premier League. As a club, we're in the Premier League, so Josh plays for, I think, Sir John Bailey.
Yeah.
In that, so.
That's the for those of the people that aren't familiar with the Premier League, it's the highest standard of bowls in this area, isn't it?
Yeah,
there are a few travelling from kind of the Welsh area,
we
from
do,
Warwick and Worcester area playing in it.
With, as I said before, with Shropshire being so vast, we've got teams from so we're representing Ludlow, got teams from Highley, Bridge North, a few teams around Telford, a few teams around Shrewsbury, Ifton, which is around the border, Hanmer, Adderley, War. So yeah, it's a lot of travelling, especially for Burway for for our lads, the away games,
Yeah.
their nearest game away game would be Highley, which is a good 35-minute journey as it is. And then the likes of War and Adderley are a good hour and a quarter to get to.
But again, I think we see it our way with the Murphy League that I'm heavily involved with. That if you want to play at a level, you want to have good quality competitive bowls on a weekly basis. You are now getting to the point where kind of a 35-40 minute journey is quite common. And again, we'll get in the car, jump in the car together, a few lads together, and travelling that little bit further. If it gives you that high level, and again, it's what the county players need, it's what the competition players need. Very few comp men are happy just competitioning. They want to still play in at least one good league a week. And obviously that's what the Premier League offers. And we hear, again, being way out of town, we still hear a lot about that and the quality of the sides that are in it. When it comes to obviously the team championship events, that's where those teams are coming from. The teams that are competing at a high level, in that league. So obviously, with Burway being, are they in terms of local league bowls? Are Burway in the top division then of that?
So yeah, we've our local league is the Ludlow League, which is unfortunately is deteriorating, or has been over the last years. I was the league secretary of the league up until stood down over the winter, just through not living here and not playing in the league. I've got 2 young children now, so they had to be the priority really. So yeah, it's a league which has only got 7 teams in it. 3 of the teams are based at Burway. We've got 2 teams from Ludlow Castle, which is where Nathan and Anthony both play down at. Got 1 team from Craven Arms, which is just up the road, and a team from Clibbury Mortimer, which is about 20 minutes across from here. So it's not the, I don't want to talk down on it. It's not the best standard. It's a very friendly league, very social league. Always trying to encourage. At the moment, trying to get youth into playing down here. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, we're not able to attract many young bowlers at the moment. But hopefully, if we get people seeing this, that this is the peak of what bowls should be, it might drum up some
All
interest.
being well. I mean the problems you're alluding to there are the same problems that I think clubs and leagues are facing up and down the country, and you've got the added disadvantage, so to speak, that you are quite far out, and you've probably got a very high concentration of bowlers for the area that you're representing there when you talk about the Ludlow League. Yeah,
and we've got, I know, so the last couple of years I've been junior selector for the county as well, so I know that there's only Shropshire, Yorkshire and Wales are the 3 which are that are playing within for the championship.
It's one of the biggest tragedies of it, and I'd love it in hindsight it'd been a great thing to go back in time and see what they could have done differently, but hopefully the powers that be will try and do more. We keep talking about things about getting bowls into schools and everything that's needed. Bowls buddies that Steve Clamp's introduced to try and get people play, make it more accessible. And there's a desire to play the game up and down the country across all areas. It's always been a tradition, I suppose, kind of the son of the father sport, hasn't it? People came in that way and getting outside names in to the game. And unfortunately, seeing the junior end, that I was kind of saw the back end of it being very successful, if you like, with all the counties represented at 24 players across both home and away. That's quite some years ago now, and it'd be nice if we could to bring back that to some extent. But I think some real strategies going to have to be made at some very high levels. It's going to be cross-county organisation, probably some significant funding, and again it comes back down to whether there'll be investment from the very top to make that happen.
Yes, that's right.
The game, in my view, the game's thriving at a lot of levels. There's a lot of bowlers playing across the country, just some playing just socially. There's thousands of bowling greens and many players playing, and not everybody wants to compete in competitions or in league bowls. They're just happy going on a local green. But the demise of the junior end, where I think that's the next generation of the top players coming from, that's really disappointing. But hopefully we can do our little bit. Thank you guys for bringing us down today to film your competition and get you on YouTube. And there will be some aspiring county players, girls and boys up and down the country, that will watch these tournaments and enjoy seeing Callum hop skipping and jumping after him, or Josh Mordew putting his arm through a big strike, and hopefully bringing a bit of excitement to the living rooms and bedrooms and tablets and phones of the younger generation.
Yeah, this is it. It is now the TikTok generation. If we can do something on TikTok, it's probably the way in, isn't it, nowadays?
So a great pairing from Josh Mordew down here. Sees him just sneak in front, 11-9. every match so far is teetering, and all being played at a relatively sedate speed at the moment. There's lots of waiting, there's lots of patience. Scott Harris is stood in the far corner with Josh Bradburn just waiting to set his jack, but doesn't want to have a jack up down here. Callum Ray having a measure. Maybe it's still early in the afternoon, but everybody's nice and steady, nice and slow, Steve. It's not quite got fired up just yet.
Only having one bar staff on, and obviously he kept it to a minimum.
So Josh Mordew doing what he's tried all afternoon, getting in a bit of a longer distance. They're not easy corners. I think, speaking of Jesse, he alluded to the fact that if you play a length on here, you'll have a decent bowl, but you're not going to play close even with a length. There's some really difficult marks.
It's a definite asset to if you can play corners on this green, especially. The corner we were just watching here, the Anthony and Jack game. I think that's a trickier corner to try and
right.
go
Okay,
to
so
and from
far left of our screen to the bottom right of our screen.
Yeah.
That playing that corner is more difficult than the far right,
than the other
where
one.
the clubhouse entrance is down to this bottom left. Yeah, and I mean Josh Mordew will always aim for that longer length if he can. It's probably his preferred. He can play short. I've seen him play 19 metres very successfully up to the Crown and Pudsey and so on. But I think if he can do, he does like to stretch his shoulders out and get in on a bit of length. Josh Bradburn, good pair against Scott Harris down here, gets into a 10-3 lead. He's looking strong as Josh Bradburn, just walking towards us now in the blue top. Again, I think it's one of those ways, like Chris Mordew doesn't know the green, but just ticking that off and thinking that good win against Chris early on, 21-12 convincing. It's a nice kind of mark against your name to go into the next round.
Yeah, and Josh is a former Shropshire County Merit winner. I think it was 2 years ago now. I think he won it. So he's got good pedigree.
He's obviously utilising this delivery as well. If we look at his foot positioning on the mat, and you can see with the big stride across, he's got his heel on the mat, so he's really stepping out. I know there's lots of kind of grey areas with the use of the footer, as people refer to it in bowls, and some at the top say it's just a guide, just use it as a guide. Obviously, as long as your foot starts on the mat at the point of initiating the delivery, then it's seen as a fair delivery, but most people, their feet will peel away from the mat. But if we look at Josh's positioning here, his right heel, so by the time this ball leaves his hand, he's really giving himself the advantage with his swing on the delivery. Steps right across, and his foot finishes a good 12-inch away, and that's not necessarily kind of manipulating it, using it to his ability. He's not trying to cheat his opponent. He's just trying to claim that bit of an advantage, and that's where he's getting Scott underneath. So look at Scott's position now on the mat, to the left-hand side of the mat. Steps inside himself a little bit, so he's always going to be fighting, and he's always going to be pushing it to the right. He's left this short, but even if he was on a road, look, we can see that ball's drifting to the right. So for any of the maybe lesser experienced bowlers out there, make sure you use that positioning of your feet on the mat. And arguably more importantly, is looking down at where your opponent's standing and just eyeing up that delivery. I know it's been a big strength of Callum in how he plays across himself. Now, for anybody who's just relatively new to the game, sometimes picking up a mark on the green a few metres ahead and bowling over that mark, it's all well and good doing that if you're sending the jack, but if you're playing against your opponent, you need to also think about the angle of their delivery. And I think the Josh Bradburn and Scott Harris game there was a really good example of how the delivery has a really big impact on the line that our ball travels across the green, particularly playing over the crown when the balls can get thrown off left or right. So Josh getting his jack back here because there was a jack up. He's clearly going to be utilising his big swing, and again I think what we'll do this time is we'll get a nice front view of Josh's delivery. So look, see there again, the right foot, right hand side of the mat, just on his heel, and we should see his left leg cross in front of him as if he's sidestepping. He crosses over a little bit and bowls across himself. That's a big difference in the swing then against somebody with a very straight delivery. So Josh playing finger, because again with this particular delivery the finger peg is probably makes it that little bit more challenging for your opponent, and if it's paid off, Scott will get outside of this here. So Scott having to adjust his line, has to play much tighter inside, but he's adjusted that and read that well. It's a good reply. Very different line coming in, but a good response. See that delivery from Josh again, right across himself. Likes this, needs to pick something up. Oh, he's just squeezed through the gap at 12-3. That'd have put Scott under a lot of pressure. He scooped this well over the top of Scott. The Lion, not happy with that delivery. 4-12. I think we'll drift over, Steve, and spend a few minutes watching the Callum Ray and John Dewey game. Like we said earlier, John, you picked up on John's early result. Really impressive against Owen Jackson, 21-6. But Callum, we know, is a prolific competition winner. He'll have his sights set just firmly on one thing this afternoon. That'll be the first prize.
Yes. Well, I think it's 6 times he's won the Burway Open over the years. Yeah, he's
So tell us a little bit about the history of the Burway Open as we come to that game. Has it been played consecutively every year, but just in a smaller format? And this is the first year of expanding.
We've been a 64-player, 64-person, one day for a number of years, and then sort of put our heads together and thought, let's try and really go for it. Try and get put not only the club, but maybe Shropshire Bowls on the map, and try and encourage what we can.
So I'm guessing when it was a 64, it predominantly kind of tailored towards the Shropshire League, maybe a few travelling in, but
we always tried to make a point of offering good prize money to attract who we could. We utilised both greens as well, so it didn't drag too much.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we've run it for, I think, probably since the 80s, I think. So it's got bigger year on year, and yeah, the calibre has always gone up. And some of the clubs here, like I say, Callum's won it 6 years. 1 year that he beat Dan Taylor in the final one of the years.
Yeah.
Just look at Scott and Josh playing it every year as well. And just looking at what else we've got. So the others, this is their first time coming down here.
So you're probably not too surprised to see a few familiar faces in the final field, but
no.
It hasn't been a closed shop. A few of the lads that have travelled for the first time have done well and got through.
They have. We've had Anthony and who we beat, Jason in the first round. Both qualified, entered to play on the same day, travelled down together, but kept apart as we played with those that travelled down. Came to them drawing their games for the final 16, and they drew each other. So
that's
sod's law.
You can't. I mean, look, as a competition organiser, if you keep people apart who are travelling for qualifying, then it's fair after that, and that's what we accept. They both got into the money, and the best thing is one of them progresses, don't they?
That's right. So I don't know who's paying for the diesel on the way back.
So Callum threw the jack off, and John's brought him back in. Similar distance, to be fair, but gone on the finger, big finger, and Callum just turned over. Obviously knows the green does, Callum, and it's far easier to come thump peg than going straight over the top of this crown. Does John follow him? Yes. Callum's asking the question. We're filming Callum's game. We're filming nobody's game, Callum, at the minute. We're filming. I don't think we did. I'm trying to read between the lines with what Callum's telling me there. He just asked, are we filming his game by any chance? And I said, not quite at the minute. We are doing now. There was a measure a few ends ago, and he said, did you get that measure? Did you get that measure on camera? I says, no, we didn't. He says, oh, it's a shame. So obviously something's gone on there. We'll find out, and we'll fill you in at some point this afternoon. We are now filming the Callum Ray and John Dewey game as it happens. Callum, a big fan of the cameras. He does like seeing the Blue Border boys in town. And we'll have a few minutes now watching this game as he gets a little bit of breathing space. So it's a really tight match, this. 8-7 to Callum. He'll be looking to extend that lead with a good lead off of his own jack here. Quick run through the scores. Steve, they're all rather tight. We've got Dan Taylor 13-11 up against Josh Mordew. We have Ant Harper is just behind 10-13 with Jack Desmond. Callum Ray 8-7 with John Dewey. And finally, the game that we thought might be a little bit tighter, Josh Bradburn is 12, now 13-4 up in front of Scott Harris. Scott just not looking happy with himself, and Josh looking like he's getting into his stride. So Callum throwing a long finger peg up the edge. all the way to the little food gazebo. Finger peg. Looks like, is this sort of mark, Steve, where you've just got to make sure you're far enough? It's a long, flattish. You're not going over the crown, so it's just a long way on the flat.
There's a ridge there which can catch you out and make you look silly if you either side of it. So you've got to just.
Is the ridge up? Are we talking near to the jack? Or are we talking?
Where John is probably just going to peg away now.
Right. So he's just not getting through that kind of corner.
Going to stay high to it like Callum has with his.
Yeah, he's had a poor end there. I mean, he's really misread his first. He's kind of 10 yards short at least, and then he's put quite a considerable amount in, but it's too big an adjustment. So a big 2 for Callum. 10-7. I think it's almost as if Callum so far is just kind of toying with the game. He's just like his shoulders are loose, but he's not really got into his stride. He's not he's not putting any pressure on, but he's possibly not feeling under pressure, and he's slowed the game down quite considerably.
Playing at his own pace.
Just slowed the game down, and we'll probably see this game speed up a little bit. If he does start putting a few balls closer and the scoreboard starts ticking over, but again, 10-7. He's definitely in the driving seat. He's played a. To say Callum likes to be filmed, he's played a jack that's very difficult for us to actually get on here. So apologies if there's any scaffolding that appears on your screens. It's because we've got a nice big gantry up here, but it means that the bottom corners of the green are quite challenging to film.
But he has also done the easiest thing to do on this mark and ditch the first one.
Is that just getting underneath, just sliding off on the edge?
You've got to stay high and
right, okay,
and hope it falls away.
So not a good ball from John in reply, but a fair ball just to compensate for.
If it says one on the card, it might be a good one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean this is definitely far enough.
Yeah, this is a good adjustment.
Good second ball. He's put it on a higher land, and he's probably just playing safe there, Callum. He's asking John the question, saying, "Go on, then you get underneath there if you want, and see if you can beat it." Can you call it, Steve? What do you think?
I think he's following Callum's first.
Callum's first, just underneath, off the green.
Falls away.
And just seeing the, just like the shoulders drop a bit from John there. I don't know if he just feels that his couple of balls got away from him in the last couple of ends there. He's just had a little bit of a blip in proceedings to say he's been playing so convincingly and so well so far. Interesting choice of mark by Callum. Is this something you've seen him play, Steve, in previous tournaments?
He can play any mark he so chooses. I think if he's probably, they've done the feeling out process at the start of the game. Does he feel that going long will suit his game? He can play short, he can play long. Maybe John was playing the short marks well in his first game. And he just feels that if he can stretch him, he can. Certainly in the qualifiers, John I think beat Richie Goddard in the qualifiers, and he was playing corner to corner in that. So
fair, yeah. I think John's played a short length very, very well so far today, and we're seeing him getting caught here. Look, it's probably the first time he's maybe been stretched over a little bit of distance, and he's been caught twice now with his lead ball going up. Callum condemning his first, but we know it's a good ball. We might be condemning this one. This is not a good second. It's going to climb by. It's going to climb by for one, but it's not an improvement. Right, can John release this shoulder? I'm not sure he's far enough, Steve.
I don't think he is either. Certainly looks like the best line of the lot. I mean,
it's a perfect line.
If they're good runners, then he's got a chance.
It's gone a yard further than I thought it was going to do, and it just about saves, but it's not winning the end. Couple of people in the sidelines, not a huge crowd, but like I said, it's a bit on the edge of the bowling world, and there'll be no doubt some afternoon bowling and competitions or various things going on for people.
Yeah, we've got a lot here that are sort of local, so local to Ludlow have come down to support. Which
it's nice to see.
There's a lot in the clubhouse as well. We've got you guys on the telly in there as well, so it's one guaranteed view.
Good, and we've got now it's become a nice afternoon. Hopefully, it can stay like this, but. Yeah. Callum obviously got a few supporters amongst the ranks. A few people shouting him on there, geeing him up a little bit.
Had a quick look at the odds that were on offer for it. I think a lot of people took the early prices on.
We've not mentioned a bookie because we weren't sure if there's somebody here today. Is there somebody doing a few bets? Somebody taking a few bets?
In-house bookie we've got, yes.
Yep, somebody just.
In case anybody in case I've left anybody wide open to. So yeah, I think Callum had opened at 2-1.
Okay.
For the competition.
I mean, that's almost a big price, isn't it? I'd say to be fair today, if Callum's 2-1, somebody's taking a bit of a gamble there on the field, because I'd say he was in the slightly harder half, Callum. If I was being fair on all the players here today, I think
Michael Beer was
it
was a real test, a good starter for him.
Yeah.
You got to get your head on straight away.
Yeah. I just think that unfortunately for Michael, I think the time of year that we're looking at now, I'll be very surprised if Michael's played that many games, whereas Callum's already in his full competition circuit swing. And I think I had just a sense coming into it that Michael would have to be at his best in the first 10 minutes of that game to really push Callum. And had we been maybe a few weeks further into the season,
possibly, yes.
And Michael might have played a few more matches, and whatever, the greens maybe get a little bit quicker. But Callum's obviously already winning competitions, kind of. Well, I don't know how many it's been, but I'd say at least a couple that I've seen online so far.
Yeah,
and no doubt qualified in many, many more.
Was it the West Brom one last week, I believe?
Yes.
So he's
Dan Taylor, 18-12 up now with Josh Mordew playing really well in this first game of the quarter-final. Obviously, Dan's a good player, but the green knowledge is now going to have a big impact on this.
Yeah.
Like you say, if Dan's been to the final of the competition before, many hours on the green, Josh's first visit, Josh is probably quite pleased to get this far. And in another year, with a little bit more experience on the green, will probably fancy himself going a bit further.
Yeah.
So they're asking who's on here, Josh and Dan. So that game's 18-12. In our second game, we've got Jack Desmond is 16-14 in front. Callum 12-7 and starting to rear up a little bit now. Wants a little bit, getting a bit of feedback from the crowd. So something's gone on here. A little mutter of Callum under his breath that he's not going to pick that out. So somebody said something or something's happened. And there's a little bit of bad blood between the players maybe. Josh Bradburn 14-7 in front of Scott Harris in this game, just beneath our feet. Hope the weather stays fine, Steve, because it's a perfect venue for it. But I bet there's, I know it doesn't rain as much down here as where you get it up north.
Oh, I don't know.
But I bet when it blows in across here, it can be quite an exposed location.
Certainly, some evening games as soon as that sun goes in, temperature can drop.
Glorious setting though, with the hills and the woods and in the distance, and then the castle.
We're lucky down here. I think everybody who lives in Ludlow just doesn't like living here, but then you moved elsewhere, and we are lucky.
Yes, yeah. You know, it's been last half an hour of our drive was very pleasant through the countryside, some nice villages.
So really, did you come down through?
Just with the way that my driver brought me. What was the road, Sam, that we came down?
Did you come through Telford or down through Shrewsbury and down the A49 that way? That way, yeah.
So Callum's did he send this jack off there? We're getting distracted by conversations of our journey in the surrounding fields. But John's throwing a new angle up this bottom edge. They're making it very difficult for us filming. So finger peg all the way across this bottom edge. Callum asking it to hurry, but it's all right. He knows it's all right. Leads 2 foot in front, but it's a strong lead. John plays a better length in my eyes. Can he miss it? Cleat creeps over the top side of it. Gone in. Good ball. Over the top, Callum already condemned it. How much sure? How much sure? No, he's not. There we go. So there we go. Anybody watching wants to know a bit about this green. It does drift back a ball there on the finger peg. Good effort from John here. Just needs to be far enough. Just needs to be far enough and it creeps in. It's a good ball. It's a good second ball. He played a good first ball. Callum knocks it off. Good second ball. 8-14. Callum just getting a little bit more animated now. Not under pressure yet. Josh Mordew looks to be dipping out of this game, all but 12 down. Dan's called for a measure, but I'll be very surprised if this measure goes ahead. Josh Bradburn 14-8, leading Scott Harris. And the closest game at the moment, 18-14 to Jack Desmond against Ant Harper. Jack Desmond's been impressive so far. Steve, he was very convincing in his first game. It wasn't really contested. 120, 1-3.
That's right.
But in this match, under a bit more pressure, still looking composed and just quietly going about his business.
He is, and the qualifying session that he qualified from was, looking at it on paper, probably the hardest one as well. I mean, he beat Greg Smith.
Yep.
To make it here today. It wasn't. I think it was only had 11 entrants in the qualifiers.
Yeah.
There was.
So Greg Smith, and was it Leighton Roberts as well? Jesse was saying.
Yes,
Yeah. So come through a really tough field and obviously playing well. 2 to Callum, 16-8. Decent lead there from Jack. I've liked his manner today. What I've seen with him is just kind of quietly getting on with things.
Yes.
Putting balls close and growing into the day.
Yep.
Taking a minute.
Our youngest finalist as well.
Yeah, I saw the write-ups on the Facebook page. For anybody not following the Burway Open on Facebook, it's well worth a little look. There's some lovely write-ups on there about the players. So if there's anybody watching this afternoon that wants to know a little bit more about the players, the bowls that they play with, their favourite songs, their clubs, their greatest achievements.
Yeah, so we were trying to make it quite open to everyone. So we tried to wind up what would people want to know.
Absolutely.
Certainly the question, what song would get you on the dance floor at Pop World?
Yeah.
That's some interesting answers.
Do people still go to Pop World? Is it still a popular destination?
If I was allowed out, I'd be there. I can't lie.
Shout out to Tom Lawrence at Pudsey Bowling Club, who was a kind of VIP member at Pop World in Leeds. One of his favourite places. He likes those big blue fish bowls.
And what would be his?
What would
song
be
for
his?
to get him up there then?
Oh, I'm not sure. Not sure. And that game's over there, Jack Desmond. Was it? That scoreboard may have been wrong a couple of minutes ago then, because it's 21-14, so they might not put the last score on. I thought we had 18-14, but it's just scored. It's either scored 3 at the same end or the scoreboard was wrong.
Must be wrong.
Anyway, Jack Desmond progresses into the semi-final, 21-14, and he will be playing the winner of Dan Taylor and Josh Mordew. Josh must have won that measure from our position. I didn't have Josh on at the last end. I thought it was curtains, but wins the end and wins the next end, 14-20. Can he get out of jail again like he did in the previous game? For those joining a bit later on this afternoon, Josh beat local Nathan Baker from just around the corner at the Castle Green, 21-19. He was 17-12 down. Dan Taylor with a very convincing and strong win against the seasoned Wayne Rogers, 21-16. Wouldn't mind having Callum Mike on for a few minutes now, because he's talking to himself or somebody in the crowd, whatever is going on. I know we all say it's the usual Callum antics, but he's asking questions he may not need to know the answers to. 16-8 in front. John just sneaks in. That ball ran well. They're just off camera at the minute. Is the Callum game as we're watching Josh's lead, but Callum's getting a little bit of a strut on after this.
Jack Desmond, 21-14.
Confirmation of the Jack Desmond and Harper game. Jack Desmond 21-14. John asking who's on there and Callum saying I'm on, but again, not sure how much difference it makes. Just play up to pass your own. There's a little bit of run in that far corner, Steve. They seem to be trailing quite well when they get there.
Yeah, it will. It is downhill in going down into that corner. As I said, it's trickier playing corner to corner.
Yes,
it's all push coming up the other way as we're looking at it.
Josh Mordew just telling us, get these on the camera. Look at these. Well, we will do, Josh, but unfortunately it might be the last bowls that we get on the camera today, because Dan's played a really good bowl. It's a good win. top player is Josh, but probably giving a bit too much in the green away today. And Dan's beating him by a third of a game, 21-14. So we have our first semi-final lineup, Steve. Dan Taylor versus Jack Desmond.
Two good young players.
Yeah, both won 21-14 in their games there. Go on, I'll put you on the spot now because you might not be with me for the semi-final. Who are you picking, Dan or Jack?
I mean, Jack, he's only played 4 games on this grid. Well, 5 games now, and he's won every one. He's caught the eye. He doesn't seem phased by it. Maybe a big green and all the green to himself in the semi-finals.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he handles it. If Dan's been in the latter stages of the competition here, it'll be familiar territory to him.
That's right.
Suddenly you get to a semi-final. There's only 2 games on the green. You do become a little bit aware of that as well. You know, you can't kind of go about as quietly. There's a bit more focus. However, the way these scores are going, I'll suggest that he's going to be on the green at the same time in the opposite half to Callum. And there'll be obviously a lot of interest in that particular match. But I think the Dan Taylor and Jack Desmond game will be a really interesting game to watch.
I think so, definitely.
So we will probably spend a little bit of our time of our coverage of tuning into that game. Meanwhile, again, another potential top quality game that's been in the prospect here is Josh Bradburn's been excellent today. 17-8 he is now in front of Scott Harris, and Callum Raitt is 18-9 in front of John Dewey. So if those 2 games go according to the scoreboards at the minute, we can expect a semi-final of Callum Raitt and Josh Bradburn. And I do think, based on performances so far, Josh has had the more complete game of all the players on the green. So if Callum is going to be tested today, that probably would be the next step.
As a hosting club, to have 3 potentially Shropshire bowlers in the semi-finals, so it's good for a county.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Again, don't want to delve too much into it because of my involvement, if you like, with Yorkshire and so on. But Shropshire have been like they are the in that top 3, if you like, of counties at the moment. People would say on paper and performance, arguably just dropped a bit under where they maybe could be in the last few years. Has Burway ever been used as a county green?
It has. No, we did have Wayne, who played in the first round, was a member here, so we couldn't host any with him being a county player. So I think because of our location and players being able to come down to practice, we'd probably just makes it tough.
Tricky.
As a club, we'd love to. We've had the All England Junior Championships here back in 2010.
Yep.
So we'd like to think we could hold it if the county.
Yeah, it's a good green, and I know. Look, there's a lot of internal decisions need to be made with county bowls about where greens are chosen. You've got to have the players that can play it. Travel to get to practice has got to be an option. Just from my first experience, a very different green to lots of Shropshire greens because it is so much bigger than a lot that I've played on through junior and senior level bowls. A lot of the greens I've been to have been quite small and containing, probably a bit like the smaller green here.
And it's only played on twice a week as well, so a lot of the greens around Shrewsbury and Telford be playing 5 nights a week on it. It doesn't get time to recover in between games, so we're lucky that we've got two good groundsmen who maintain it, and we're hoping that it's coming across on the screen what good a nick it's in.
It's been a good surface. Callum scores another 2 in the far corner, so he gets himself very close to the finish line. Will be 20 points to 9 in front. John Dewey has been very, very strong today. An incredible win against Owen Jackson, 21-6 in his first match, saying Owen's by common local knowledge, Owen plays the green very well whenever he comes, and a few league games on it and competitions in the past. So John did really, really well in that match, and he's held Callum for half a game here, but it's just getting away from him now, and that's 29, and Callum playing this quite peculiar mark, a very long, straight, nothing for underneath mark, finger peg along the edge of the green. Josh Bradburn was looking likely to be his opposition in the semi-final, but Scott Harris is rallying, and a 2 here sees Scott Harris go to 11, chasing Josh's 17. So Callum Raitt is 20 points to 9 in front, playing along this long edge in front of us, and Scott Harris leads out, but needing a Bit of a comeback because he's 11-17 behind with Josh Bradburn, who's been quite formidable so far today. How will the green change, Steve, as we get towards the semi-final and final? I know it's kind of like still quite early in the afternoon, if you like, but when we get towards that earlier evening, does it drop? Does it get a bit heavier?
There's going to be too much noticeable difference.
So it'll
certainly not for the semis. Possibly the final, may just as the looking at about 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so it'll play.
Maybe once the sun's gone in and.
Yeah, it's not the type of green that suddenly drops out and the pace.
It'll take a little bit of the sting will be taken out of it, but I think everyone will be able to adapt quite well to it.
So Callum Raitt is our third semi-finalist, 21-9 win over John Dewey. That was impressive in his early round and just fell short. Callum will wait for the winner of this final match, Josh Bradburn and Scott Harris. So we'll focus on the latter few minutes of this, Steve. In your final few minutes with us this afternoon, then you can get back whatever duties that await.
I'm currently updating the Bowls results website with the results of live
excellent!
Being updated as we,
so if anybody wants to look at the full score, they can go on. So it's bowlsresults.co.uk.
Yes,
and then on the open, is it on open?
I believe it's on the Shropshire Open competition.
Shropshire Open competition. So bowlsresults.co.uk, and go down to the Shropshire competitions page. And especially our watchers in the north, the Bowls Results is the same website that's used for the county and by the British Crown Green.
That's right, yes, yeah.
So you'll be able to find your way there if you follow up any of the big British Crown Green events, and find yourself the scores from today's competition so far. Scott Harris just chipping away slowly. 12-17. Am I right? Have they updated that score? 12? Was he on 12 when he led out at that end? Or has he just scored one there and gone to 12? 12-17 within 5. Take his time, will Scott. He won't be rushed.
Yeah, he's pretty unflappable. Is Scott? He's been playing since he was a boy himself, so he's lots of years of experience.
Yeah, so I don't know him too well personally, but I've played him twice in the county games for Yorkshire when I've travelled to 2 away venues and just dipped out with him. We've had some good tussles and some good matches. Was that
before he put his hair in ponytail when he was at his?
Yes, I think it might have been the Alice Band for the first time. But
okay.
I'll accept defeat in the first match. It was fair. I can't remember the name of the venue, but it was on grass. The second time we played was on a carpet.
Oh, you were at All Scott.
We were. Yeah.
Yes.
What is the club and the hosting of the event was immaculate. But I'm not too sure about using these fake pitches for county bowls.
I've played it a couple of times and it's an acquired taste.
Yeah, but we had a couple. I think I've just dipped out with him 2 18s or 18 and 17 or something like that. But two good matches, good competitive games.
And a nice lad with it as well.
Yeah, we just plays with his heart on his sleeve when we're wearing that county shirt, and that's how it should be. Yeah. And just held in there with his second bowl, and I don't think Josh, this is not looking a good one.
Now's the last chance. Joe will be finishing up in about 15 to 20 minutes.
So Scott, another one. 13-17. Not scoring quickly, Steve, but he does keep scoring.
He's chipping away, and he's within 2 ends now of drawing level. So
I know it's the benefit of hindsight, but before a ball was sent, who would have been the favourite in this game, do you think?
In this game, I'd have probably looked at Josh.
Yep.
But they are very level.
Because Scott's not often a bit. And what I do know about his game is he prefers to play a bit shorter if he can, doesn't he? He likes a quicker green and play a little bit shorter. But he's stretching Josh out here, and we're playing to this bottom right hand corner where I do believe there's a little bit of finish, a little bit of trail. And if this stays on, Steve, it's a real lead.
That's a great lead.
Great bowl. That's a really good bowl. And all of a sudden, with that lead, should this stand at this end, he's going to be really close. He's going to be back within touching distance.
This is a good effort, mind.
Probably incorrectly writing him off a few minutes ago.
Just pulled up.
Just given up. Just given up is the call from the side. glorious sunshine now over Burway Bowling Club as we come to the end of the quarter-final stage. Scott Harris trails 17-13 to Josh Bradburn, but lying a really good bowl in this corner. I thought it was too far towards us, Steve, here, but has he turned over?
No, I think he's quick.
Yeah, he's just too far towards us. Quick. So another one to Scott. 14-17. Now this is the point where Scott might just glance at the scoreboard and see that he's within a couple of good leads away from being able to be right back in this match. Yeah. But this is the point where the pressure, your shoulders can easily tighten up a little bit. 5 minutes ago, he's probably written this game off.
Just trying to get double figures.
And you're just thinking, scrap away, make something of it. And then all of a sudden, you know, you can just sense that you are back in the game. 17-14. A whisker separates the players.
Another long mark here.
Yeah, he's going to need a good lead. And I think again, this is that mark where you're playing finger peg. As you get to the crown, which we'll try and point out where we're talking about in a minute, the balls kick from left to right, don't they? They really fall away. So this didn't come out well. This had a really wobbly start. It looks underneath to me. This is not going to go where he wants it to do. It's travelled relatively well, but it's underneath. Should be beating this, Steve, I think.
Should be not a bad weight, but I think
good delivery is Josh. And I think the thing with that big stride coming across himself right to left really helps him on this mark, because his delivery naturally is bringing him up into the shape of the crown. Hangs in on a length.
Just takes it.
Gone in. I think part of it was Scott just not getting his ball out well. He a little bit of a cockle on it, and it just seemed to throw it underneath very quickly. Scott taking a minute to wait for Josh to return behind him. He's telling it to run. He doesn't like it. I think he does play with a higher density bowl, or it's either a small bowl or a high density. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but it's...
if you look at the player profiles on Facebook, you can
yes, I'll have a look on there. I'm just going on memory. I'm just going on memory, but we'll have to have a look. So, again, that's it. That's exactly that moment I was just talking about there. 17-14. You glance at the scoreboard. You've done the hard work. You're not quite within touching distance, but you are only a couple of leads away. Josh can take a bit of breather now, knowing that he's got plenty of room to pair up. Just don't overthink this. He just doesn't need to overthink it. He's worried about knocking things in.
I don't think he's there. You know,
it's
not taking advantage there.
It might scrap to a length, but it's not on a road. No. It's a poor second ball really for the position of his scoring.
Could have been a big two that if he'd scored it.
His 17-14 in front, his line one, is not really likely to knock anything in. Nope. And he just for the first time just looked a little bit timid on that shot.
Just try and be positive. Just beat two very short woods.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you start looking at knocking balls in at that distance, your mindset is flicked to quite a negative one. So Josh, foot on the very right-hand side of the mat, probably expecting a finger peg if it's going towards what I've learned about his game today, using that swing. However, Scott did play into this corner the last end, so maybe a little bit different. Let's have a look. Looking like finger peg to me, Steve, just over the top.
Just up onto the crown and just going the other side of it.
Yep. So again,
shortened it up from the previous couple of ends.
Yeah, he's just dragging it. He's dragging them up. It's in a similar way to Callum does that, coming across himself and pulling them right inside. If he does get out of this match and plays Callum, it'd be really interesting to see, because they obviously has a similar type of delivery, and you learn a lot from watching players about something like the preference of. Particular here with Josh playing finger peg, because it just suits that delivery coming across yourself. You're always going to be pulling it into the jack.
That's right.
Scott just bowls in though, length bowl. Still sitting good 3.5, 4 foot to the side. This looks a narrower land, definitely far enough, needs the jack. It'd have been a big hit, but he's drifted out. And this is where Scott gets the opportunity to pair up and
this could be a big two.
Put the pressure back on, a really big two. Is he playing timid, Steve?
I think he's, again.
Wobbles over, nearly comes down this bank, nearly comes down the bank.
No, I think he's just rolled the other way for him.
Yeah, if he'd have had that shot again, there'd have no way he'd have told himself to be short again. Just so it's as if they're fearing hitting things and knocking themselves off when they're unlikely to do it. 15-18. Josh can breathe out there and think that's another little let off. So Scott played this game, and this particular mark, Steve, in his first match, and he played it very, very well because he played against Ant Rogers.
That's it. No,
and Ant was like, well, he's known to be good on the green. And
he's spent, pretty much 20 years playing on it, and it's only just recently that he's moved elsewhere. So he's his mum and dad and grandparents, all members down here as well. So it's.
And then, to be fair, that does bring its own pressures. There's an expectation to come back, and you're suddenly playing in a competition thinking, oh, could I, should I? He might have had one eye on a bit further on in the draw and thinking about maybe that game against Callum or that type of thing. But Scott,
the calibre of play that he up against today is probably a bit better than what he's
yeah. Scott did this earlier on in the match. He in his first match he was playing them close, and that might have even helped him a bit. That just jiving into them and knocking himself off. Now does Josh gamble? Because if he picks that jack up, he's laying 20-15 in front. If he misses the jack, he's 17-18. He's having a go. He's playing at least the runner. I've been told he's got a good strike though, Steve. Bit of venom in this. Oh, he's got the gap. He's got the gap, and all of a sudden it's 17-18. Mindsets of the players changes a little bit now. Scott maybe thinks after a loose end a couple of ends ago when he let Josh back in, but he replied well, and he scored 3 on the back of it. 17-18, anybody's game now.
This is it. Both of them are 2 ends away from victory, possibly.
You need the lead. You need the lead. He's playing. I think the difference with these two now is it is just the angle of delivery.
Yeah.
Scott's a lot straighter, although there's a little bit of pull in that. Finger peg up and over. He's definitely sent this. There's some adrenaline in this arm, and he's shown the frustration with a big flap.
It's a good 2 yards through that.
There's just a sense that every time Scott gets to that point where he knows he's got that chance, he's just drifting on a bad lead.
Yeah,
Josh gets a fortunate flick. It ends up being a big wick. Moving the jack into an artificial position as well makes it harder. Scott could connect with Josh's ball if he plays the original line. This is well read though. He's adjusted really well. And if it stops in, oh, it's wobbled out. It's just wobbled out.
I'll let the ref decide that one.
Again, we keep seeing from our viewing position, it does really flatten the green, but the crown in the middle is quite significant. Scott's got to say that you're on here, Josh. I think we can see it from up here. Any suggestion of otherwise? Yeah, it's told him now. You're in.
Yeah, the ref's given it.
Frustrated there, Scott, more so with his own lead, no doubt, because he let the water in, but Josh got a little bit of fortune because he was travelling himself. If he's a length, this will drift back, Steve.
It's trying for him. Has he just pulled off? Scott's just stood him away. I can't quite see how close. I think he's been let off there. I think it's just the one.
Not got one for me. Not got one. I think they'll roll the middle one out.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good second attempt, but only one.
19-17.
Although within a finish, 19-17. So Josh Bradburn beat Chris Mordew 21-12 in his first game, and Scott Harris beat Anthony Rogers 21-7. Both very, very pleased with the performances, very convincing victories, and this match going all the way. For those that didn't see the first part of the match, Josh actually got himself several points in front, maybe even a gap of 7 chalks at one point, but he hasn't scored too many in the last 15 minutes. Scott rallying, gets within touching distance, but then just hasn't managed to get level, and certainly hasn't got in front. Good lead from Josh, that length ball. The balls do get thrown under again, don't they, on this mark?
Yep.
There's nothing, as soon as they're outside the jack, they seem to stick. He's carried a good line, but he's obviously too far. Again, Josh asking who's on. Interesting. I'm not sure it makes a big difference to the shot he's going to play. He's still going to have to try and play a good one.
Well, nice footer.
Sometimes you put yourself under more pressure by finding out that you're not on. Came out well. Put it down lightly, down the bank. He'll be hoping to connect with something. He'll be hoping to connect. Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Just stops in. It's a good ball. Scott just with a little bit of wobble on it again. It's quite common with his delivery. It's just all on his length, Steve.
I think he's
all on his length. Oh, has it won it though?
Josh's 2017.
Just gets away with one there, Josh. I think Scott can consider himself a little bit unlucky. I don't think either player played a good ball into that end, and the fortune just favoured Josh. But it was a tricky little mark that I've seen a few ends going into that corner throughout the day. People just can't seem to hit the jack road.
There's a few on here that will catch you out if you. I mean, these two have been on here plenty of times. So
yes, Josh Bradburn leaves finger peg. Again, as we can see that ball peeling away from us, that's going against the bias. That ridge that we mentioned at the very start of our commentary earlier today, that we've not seen Callum attack just yet. Don't know if it quite comes across on your screen, but just in a stripe, kind of running left to right across your screen, right where those balls and jacks are, there's a darker bit where the ridge is. A little bit barer on top where the grass may have been scorched off last summer. And I think if you don't hit this ridge right, the balls do work against you, as Josh is proving again with his second ball. It cannot peg up the ridge. They're going against the bias. So from a camera point of view, you might be thinking that they're playing thumb peg here with the natural angle that the balls are following across the green, but they're on the finger.
Scott take advantage.
And it's just sliding off this steep crown.
The two of Josh's there.
Yep, so 3 balls probably finishing in a more natural position, but Scott just finds his first ball holding a better road. 18-20 without any margin for error, moving into the latter ends. Josh needs to find 1 ball. There's one thing you do feel when you're stood on the mat and you're already on 20 is you don't mind having the last shot at the end, because you can make things happen.
Yeah.
Whether it be a runner, whether it be a strike, whether it's just beating a yard ball. So even though you do want to finish it as soon as you can, you've still got the kind of the destinies in your own hands, and there's only so much Scott can. Yeah, definitely. That was it, Steve. Scott can only do so much now. If he puts good balls up, he's still going to have to wait.
The lead gives him a chance, doesn't it? Yes.
That's why I always think it's interesting about crown green bowls compared to, let's say, you like golf or darts or snooker or so on, that your opponent does actively affect the outcome of the game. You don't just get to the table and you get your own way. It's not a good lead by Scott, but it's an unfamiliar mark. Josh likes this. I think he thinks he's just played the winner. It's a good ball. Nibbles the jack. Left 6 inch of room, and his ball falls into it as well. Just has to play a really good ball here, does Scott. There's nothing really for a strike unless he takes the jack off the green. Is he underneath, Steve?
I'm just looking at Scott's body language, whether he likes it or not.
Oh, he's got the jack.
He's called it.
He's called it. He pegged up. He's caught the jack. That's a really, really big ball. Massive ball. Really positive. Little runner. If you're playing well and the game is not on the line, you probably bowl one in here. But with the state of the game and a semi-final looming, what a great ball this is. Really confident, really good shot. Yep. So with that ball, very good finish. 21-18 to Josh Bradburn against Scott Harris. So a quick rundown then. We're going to have Dan Taylor versus Jack Desmond. We're going to have Callum Raitt, the favourite for today, versus Josh Bradburn. And with that, thanks very much, Steve, for your time in the commentary box.
Thanks,
and the best of luck with everything. It's been a great competition so far. And there's hopefully still 3 excellent games to come.
We hope one just on behalf of the club, just like to thank you guys for coming down and supporting it with your coverage, and also all of our sponsors that have supported the competition. We hope that next year will be as big, and we try and encourage everyone in the country to come and enter it. And hopefully, what you're seeing on the screens today, we'll want you to come join us next year.
Brilliant. Thanks. Great sentiment, Steve. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Take care.
So we're at the semi-final stages now of the PML Burway Open.
Second semi-final to the green, please. Callum Wright, Josh Bradburn.
Just announcing the second semi-final with the first one underway at the first end. Dan Taylor versus Jack Desmond, both players being impressive. Dan definitely with a little bit more green knowledge. I've been told that he's done well in the one-day competitions they've run here in their previous years. This is the first time they've gone to a 1-to-8 in their qualifying sessions. Versus a very impressive Jack Desmond that's new to the green. Hasn't lost on the green so far. Beat Greg Smith in qualifying, beat Leighton Roberts in qualifying, and is in fine form going on what I've heard from the local competition circuit. I believe he might have qualified at Woodley in Stockport last week or the week before. Beating Jack Hargreaves there as well. So Jack, if he's an unfamiliar name to you all, is certainly going to be turning up in competitions across the country and laying a marker down. But for the time being, Dan leads out at 2-0 up, having to win the first end. And clearly comes into this semi-final with a lot more green knowledge and experience on these greens. Second semi-final, also much anticipated, that we'll pick up a little bit later, is Callum Wright and Josh Bradburn, both been impressive so far. Probably a bit more experience between the two of them. And again, two players with a lot of knowledge on the green. So as play gets underway, we'll let the players settle in, and we'll be picking up to start with the Dan Taylor and Jack Desmond game. So both semi-finals now underway. Callum just losing that first end. Josh has been impressive, Josh Bradburn so far, but this will be his biggest test against the favourite Callum Wright. And there's a little bit of a query about who's on, whether it's 1 or 2. Scott Harris has been invited onto the green for a bit of a check. Jack Desmond winning at the second end there. So the semi-finals of the 2026 PML Burway Open are Dan Taylor versus Jack Desmond and Callum Wright versus Josh Bradburn. Joined in the commentary box for the semi-finals with Harry Parsonage, who's had a lot to say in getting the Blue Border team involved in this competition, plus behind the scenes running. And then we might have the odd word again quietly from behind the scenes, playing the third man role from Jesse James, but we've given Jesse a microphone that we can control should he get a little bit leery. Very good to have you up on the scaffold.
Thank you.
Did you order this thing? It's massive.
The scaffolding?
Yes.
Well, sort of, not really. But no, special thanks to Adam Dovey and Chris Dovey. They're both club members down here. They both play in the Premier League team and the Ladder League team. And they are, to say they're both scaffolders by nature. So they arranged it with their boss.
Good. No, it's really good of them. They haven't got a vendetta against you, have they, by any chance? Because I'm just making sure we are safe up here for the next couple of hours.
No, I don't think so.
It has held well so far. It was a bit,
Should be okay.
it was a bit ominous earlier in the afternoon, but as everybody will be able to see now, the sun is shining glorious in an almost clear blue sky. Perfect bowling conditions. There's a light breeze blowing in, but at the moment it's as good as it can get. So what are we on now? 6:30. Are we expecting the green to stay the same? That's what. Speaking to Steve before, he said it doesn't change that much as you get into the evening.
Not really. Obviously, the later it gets, obviously you will get dew on the green. But I mean, I wouldn't have thought it's going to change a lot now. Between now and probably 8 o'clock, I would say the competition is going to finish. So.
Yeah, good. Because if sun stays up, and there might be a few shadows coming in, but again, it's immaculate, and the 4 players on the green at the moment are, without doubt in my mind, the 4 best players today. They've played really, really well. They've kind of gone through the gears when they needed to do. Josh Bradburn was looking really, really convincing, and then Scott came right back against him, didn't he, in that last quarter final, but just dipped out in the end. So how do you see these 4 weighing up, Harry? We got start with the Dan Taylor and Jack Desmond game just beneath us.
I mean, they both played very well today. I mean, during the qualifiers, especially, I watched a lot of Jack Desmond. He played extremely well. He came up against Greg Smith, and I can't remember who did he play now again.
Leighton Roberts.
Leighton Roberts.
He
He played immaculate, to be fair to him, and I mean, from what I've seen of him today, he's played extremely well again. Obviously, it's going to be a test against Dan Taylor. He's a good player, but yeah, I mean, I would probably expect Dan Taylor to beat him, in my opinion, but. Yeah, I don't think you can write Jack off, to be honest.
No, absolutely not. I think looking at probably who he's played so far, the win against Greg is obviously very impressive. Is the game's number 1, number 2, whatever you want to call it. He's right up there. But if Leighton Roberts knows a bit more about the green, has played the green a little bit more, that's the win. Correct, that you think, right, 3rd game in a qualifier to get through. But today he's been immaculate. He's quietly kept his head down, looking smart. He's got full competition gear on. He's just put them close all the time. I've been really impressed with what I've seen so far. He's not somebody that's kind of been on my radar, somebody I've really been familiar with. I think he's a youngish lad, but he looks composed, looks like he's taking it all in his stride at the minute, and he's, after losing 2 at the first head here, he's got himself in a nice little 5-2 lead. Dan, far more experience on these greens as well.
Yeah, I mean, Jack probably doesn't remember me, but we did play, I don't know if we played against each other, but we definitely played when Shropshire played Derbyshire in the juniors a long time ago.
Yep.
So yeah, I remember him. He probably doesn't remember me, but yeah.
A lot of good juniors have come through those Derbyshire ranks. You look at like Connor Chamberlain, Dan Petcher, just to name 2 off the top of here, but they've always been in the mix on the competition circuit, and maybe Jack's going to be the next one adding to that group. Yeah. So he's playing tidy so far. I think what I've learned today, looking at the green for the first time, is these, what we might consider like nothing marks, are actually quite tricky on here. The balls drift around a little bit, and I think it's really clear to see that it's all for length on this green. But it's not easy to stand them on top of the jack.
No, it's not, no. You're right. A football to the side of the jack on this green's a good bowl, to be fair. I think most players will probably tell you that.
And obviously we'll come to the other game of Callum and Josh Bradburn in a couple of minutes. And Callum's big favourites at the start of the day, probably 2-1. Somebody said was quite a high price going on his competition record, and he's going to be the one to beat, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I mean,
but Josh Bradburn's been impressive.
He has, yeah. I mean, Callum's had a great start to the season. Probably, I mean, I think Jess was speaking to him last week, and he said it's probably the best start he's ever had to a season in his bowling career. I mean, he's just a machine.
He is. He just wins for fun. I think when you just see win after win after win after win, it's like most people just dream of winning one big event or being in the final or whatever, and he's in 2 or 3 a weekend at the moment. And
yeah,
I think it's just the idea of I don't think he's got anything in his head to think that people are competing with him. Yes, he's going to lose games of bowls because that's what anybody does. You can't win everything, but his win ratio at the moment must be really, really high.
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, obviously he's here looking to add to I think it's the 7th Burway Open title. Obviously with more money at stake as well, £1,300 to the winner. So yeah, I mean, we were speaking to him earlier on in the club, and he's really up for it. So
absolutely, you can tell. I think in that last game with John Dewey, who set off really well, had a good first round win himself. and then Callum just kind of, when he needed to do, just put the pressure on, almost like stepping on the neck sort of thing, and just saying, right, I'm having this. And when he went up a level, unfortunately for John, he couldn't live with it.
No, exactly.
Because he's not always necessarily putting balls absolutely bang on the jack. He's playing some marks there, Callum, that are playing a little bit out of what you consider his normal game, this long edge. However,
this edge here, I mean, Jess will tell you, he plays this edge every time he comes down to Burway, and he does play it well, to be fair.
So might be a little bit off camera there, just what we're talking about, the Callum and Josh game. Josh gets 2 there, and again backing it 4-5. But the game we are going to focus on for a little bit is the Dan Taylor and Jack Desmond game, because Jack's definitely earned a little bit of an opportunity to have his name in the limelights. Jesse, what are you making of all this so far?
Yeah, good start to the semi-finals. I've been impressed with Jack Desmond so far. But he's probably the underdog of the 4 with his lack of green knowledge compared to the other 3. But yeah, like as you said earlier, he looks steady, professional, hasn't he? He really has gone about it really, really well. Just one thing I do want to say to you, Tom. Harry's dad, Simon, he's the main sponsor for this competition, and he's also kindly donated, or purchased, should I say, the brand new trophy. So it may be worth you just asking. I don't want to tell you your job. But if you want to know a little bit more about that, then I'm sure Harry can tell you.
Absolutely, yeah. No, I don't know Simon personally, but I know that his involvement in the game kind of beyond just Shropshire Bowls at British Crown Green level and so on, and sponsorship over the years, and the amount of money he's probably helped bring into the game has been quite significant, way beyond many. So that's obviously much appreciated, and that's why you start attracting some of the players in this competition. We've mentioned Greg and Leighton a bit more local, but Chris and Josh Mordew travelling down today, and I think that will definitely bring the competition forward. So yeah, Harry, it's really appreciated, is that. And so if you want to say a couple of words on behalf of your dad, I know you were saying earlier that you wouldn't be too keen on getting him up the ladder onto the scaffolding.
Yeah.
So you're his spokesperson this afternoon.
Yeah, as soon as you see the scaffolding, Terry, so I ain't getting up there to go and speak. But no, I mean, obviously it's more on a personal level this year with my dad sponsoring the competition. So he's sponsoring it privately through his property management company, no longer through FlowFit as he used to do with the BCGBA.
Yep.
Obviously over the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years, he has sponsored a huge amount of competitions, obviously with the BCGBA across the country. But yeah, he's proud to sponsor it. He wants to support the club. I think I've been bowling down here for probably 13, 14 years, I think. It wasn't my first club, I'll be honest, but yeah, he's pretty much said to me, in his own words, I will sponsor this competition till I die, and when I am gone, I want you to take it on.
There you go then.
His words, so.
I mean, again, it's like we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the big prize money, and you're dipping your hands in your pocket to get it all working, sort of thing. It makes a big difference to the game. It's growing it from what could be a good local 64. The aspiration now of the club and the people involved is clearly to make it a really big competition. We saw that like what Josh Mordew was doing at Ribblesdale, everybody following that online, how quickly a competition can become the main event. And it's nice to see another big competition in the south coming into play, if you like, and I'm sure the players playing on the competition circuit, not just Callum but everybody, there's like hundreds of bowlers that want to enter them, but with it being, we said a few times today, on the periphery of the bowling map, if you like, you've got to have the money in there. Exactly, and to have the money in there, you've got to have the sponsors, and you've got to have the generosity of maybe individuals and families and so on, like you've got here. So that's really pleasing, and brand new trophy as well to play for.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, to be fair as well, I'd just like to say thanks to Ben Allen as well, and Russell Davis. I mean, they've brought in some of the additional sponsors that we've got here as well. Not forgetting them. A lot of the sponsors here are connected to the club in one way or another. So say their generosity is much appreciated.
If we look now across the. We can see on the advertising boards at the far side of the bowling green the various people, various sponsors, obviously lots of new advertising boards ready for this competition. The programme's full of them. I listed them earlier in the day. Take a moment going through again. Parsonage Management Limited, Prestige Plumbing and Heating, Inex Solutions Limited, Rapid Fire Limited, Ludlow Motors, Tax Assist Accountants, Midway Motors, The Bridge Pub, CT Pit and Son Limited, and DJH Utilities. And yes, it's a long list and people think what you're doing there just reading them out, but these are people putting money into our game and helping the game grow at the very top end, which is what this is all about. And again, people will pay the £25–30 entry now to competitions, but it does help when you've got that big fund, if you like, sat behind the comp to offer. So, I mean, the prize fund is impressive today. £6,600 given out in this competition with a winning prize of 1,300. That there's not many competitions in the country offering that for a first prize at this moment in time. So back to the play then. We have 4-8 in that first fixture. Dan Taylor 4, Jack Desmond 8, waiting for the long tapes on that match. And as expected, I think that Callum was going to be tested, at least in the first opening part of this game. Is 6-7 behind with Josh Bradburn. So I've been impressed for different reasons with all 4 players today. Jesse, how are you reading how these 2 games are going to go?
I'm a little bit surprised, really, with how Josh, well, not with how Josh has started, but Josh is sort of playing Callum at Callum's game. I don't know if you saw, probably 3 or 4 ends ago, it was Callum that decided to try and stretch the Jack out a little bit, and it's Josh that's resorting to sort of going across the crown the bare minimum.
We did notice that the versatility in Callum's game, though. He did it against John Dewey. They started off the same, and John he's played a really good length, over 20 metres sort of thing today, and then Callum decided to play this long edge, and he just took the game away from him. And it seems like Callum's probably tried a similar tactic this time. The infamous ridge that we've been told about, Callum hasn't been on it once that I've seen so far in today's tournament. And for the first time here, it looks like Josh is having a little bit of a look at it himself.
Yeah, I was watching Callum a little bit, and he tried it a little bit early in his last game, and he, I don't think he was happy with the way he was playing it, so he's resorted to playing something else. But I'm sure between now and the end of the day, we will see him put a run together on it. If he gets in here, I think he may try it again, but we'll see.
It's where Callum's ability is, because I think so far today he hasn't actually played that well.
No, I agree.
By his own standards. Like, he hasn't been, maybe it's the nature of the green, I'm not too sure, but he hasn't been kind of touching the Jack too much or nibbling the Jack like he normally does. He's actually left a few wayward bowls, but probably testament to the difficulty level of the green. I know that the lads that you guys know it and you say it's a fair play, it's quite straightforward, but what I'm watching is it's a green that a lot of balls do finish 3-4 foot away. You're not guaranteed to stand them on top of the Jack on every mark you're going on.
No, that's correct.
And that's probably where Callum's having to just adapt his game slightly to allow for that, and he's obviously played a little bit further because of it.
That's correct. You're bob on there. I think there was a little bit of an incident in Callum's last game. I don't know if you got that.
We caught the latter end of whatever it was. We caught Callum saying down here, "I'm not going to pick his ball out of the gutter after that," or something along those lines. So I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's being said. It was probably in the heat of the battle.
Yeah.
I don't think there'd be any necessarily animosity between the 2 players, but clearly there's been something that's upset them in that particular match.
I think John was 7-6 up, and I didn't see it myself. I'm going off rumours and whispers as you do. I think there was a bit of an incident where John had claimed 2 because he'd removed a bowl and the bowl had fallen over. Yeah, bowl was propping one up, and it went in, and then he claimed 2, and I think he was 7-6 up at that moment, and then that obviously revved Callum up a little bit, and John didn't score many more. But
yeah, we definitely picked up from here that there'd been a change in the intensity of gameplay, let's say. So 2 good contests so far. I think Dan's going to be back in this game before long. He's 5'8", and I think his green knowledge, Harry, if that's fair to say, will probably keep him in the game, however well Jack plays in the first part of this game.
It will be, yeah, you're right. I mean, Jack's obviously lying 1 on here. Ooh,
Still one.
still one, yeah.
So just playing out a shot on this bottom left-hand side. Jack Desmond, line 1, 9-5. So far, nothing's phasing him. Just a steady stride across the green. Hasn't looked flustered at any point. Just
Looks a bit like me on a Friday night when I'm losing, that is. Take your time, go the long way around.
oh, he's paired them. Two's been given as the call there. So actually, it's
Surprised at that.
10-5. And now Callum reverts to his. Well, this little mark we've been told about all day, just playing this little spine. I think probably as the sun sets somewhat, we might that little ridge might become a little more prominent on the camera. Callum's shadow being cast across the end there, but we can see, hopefully, just beneath the balls and the jack on the screen, you can see a darker stripe running left to right, and that's the infamous ridge that makes this middle quite difficult. But Josh Bradburn has a similar delivery to Callum, steps across to the right, so I don't think he's going to lose him on land. He might lose him on
A
pace.
bit too quick here, yeah.
Just a ball too quick. It's
One to Callum.
one to Callum. Callum on 9-7. Jesse just taking a phone call there from family, as famous on the Blue Border Sports. All the bigger contracts are coming in. Jack Desmond pairs up. Don't want to jump between the games too much, but obviously there's a key part of each match with Jack lying 10-5 up and currently lying 2 here, and Callum finding his mojo a little bit now on this middle piece.
Has he caught Josh short as well? I think he has.
Josh just a ball. I think good
He's
runners.
done well,
These we were looking earlier at the balls he's playing with. He plays with I think it's some sort of express.
Yeah, I was going to say, I can't quite see from where I am, but they look like an express.
Yeah, they're a low density. I'm sure on his profile it said he plays low density, and obviously this time of year when the greens are a little bit greener, not cut down too short, a bit softer underfoot. Referees call Callum's ball. I don't think again Callum really needs to know there. He's going to play for another one regardless. Chattered on a couple of the rabbit bumps there. Ball underneath.
Jack goes 12-5 up as well with a good pair down here in the right hand corner.
Yeah, he's just, I mean, just keeping Dan in his shell a little bit at the minute. I mean, to be fair with Jack, he's just played tidy. Great effort here. What a good ball that is. Good Josh Bradburn. That's a great ball. Jack Desmond leading back nodders. Josh Bradburn playing runners and propping out for 2. It's some good stuff. Now we expected it as the competition progresses. It's all the time. Oh, just one to Josh. So Jack Desmond 12-5 up in front of Dan Taylor. Dan's probably searching for the answer at the minute, wondering what to do. And Josh Bradburn just gets in there to keep the score at 8-9 in his big matchup with Callum Raitt. A little part of me, my little inclination, thinks if one person's going to beat Callum today, it'll be Josh in this game.
You may well be right there, Tom. The way he started, he's certainly started well, hasn't he? He hasn't let Callum get on top of him and sort of bully him like he does with a lot of other people early on.
It's a great end of balls down here.
Absolutely, the
Jack Desmond and
referee's
Dan Taylor.
saying one to Jack. Dan's having to play a runner here. Strike incoming. Strong shot. Anything could happen if he hits these. It's a great strike.
Still down.
I don't know which ball's on the far right as we look there.
One down.
I think he's
Not
left
his.
himself one on, Jazz.
You can't do much more than that, can you? He deserves to count on the back of that, really, because he's played a positive shot.
Yeah,
He has done
down.
with the stickers on. He deserves that. He's hit a positive shot and he's got the reward he deserves. So big score that.
No, it was
2 great balls
strict-
from Jack.
Very good strike.
Callum going big hammer as well. He's called both of them. Look at that accuracy. It's not staying on, Cal.
That's what Callum does.
So players coming into a bit of rhythm now. A lot more good bowls and a little bit more striking on the back of it. Now this is going to be interesting for the next couple of minutes with Dan because he's stretching Jack, and I don't think Jack's really played over a significant distance so far this afternoon. But he's left some room.
As we told you earlier, Tom, lot of short bowls into this corner.
Yeah, and this is another one. He looked down at his feet as if he's caught something or didn't get it away right, but still think Dan needs to improve significantly though if he's going to win the end. It's a long way, it's a full arm, isn't it, out of that corner?
Yeah, it's a long way, that.
Especially if you've had 10 minutes of playing shorter marks as well, it's just opening your chest out and really getting through the end and leaving it short again. This one's further. Is he okay if he's over the top, or does he?
Yeah. Wins.
Good ball. Good ball. Wins it on a length. Yeah, good shot that. It's a lot of room, but you've got to make it count, and he's read that well.
Stretched his lead as well.
Chance there for Dan, a bit disappointing, I think. He's napped himself on what he wanted to catch Jack out with.
This is interesting, this, because Josh is playing Callum at Callum's game here.
Yeah, so just out of shot here, we've got Josh scoring in that top corner and taking Callum right up to the middle of the green and putting two smokers on. Even though that turns away. Remember, Callum struck at the last end and led to a dead end, moved the jack significantly, but now Josh is taking it up to the middle, line two. Still, Callum might just come at these. I think he could get both balls out, could Callum? If he hits the front ball well, he could end up clearing both of them. And if he doesn't, the way Callum plays, it wouldn't surprise me if he either plays to hit both balls on the angle, but if he misses that front ball, he can take the pig through.
Yeah, he's looking at the angle now. He's walked up to take a look at the angle.
Because if he plays for the jack and just clips that front ball, he could easily split both of Josh's balls here, and an outrageous shot could end up going from 2 down to 2 up. But I say all this, you know what'll happen now? He'll just go straight through the gap. It happens a load of times. I love it. I pictured him up on commentary to say what he's going to play. Ready for this? Straight through the gap. Watch. Oh, he's got the block. He's got the block. That was the. Didn't know if he could see enough of it. It's a great shot. He's paired up on the back of it. 4-point turnaround that.
Good hit.
It's just the danger, I think, when you're playing those marks. I mean, Callum obviously puts people under pressure by playing them, but he's such a good runner and such a good striker that if Josh plays that himself. I just don't think you see people playing the shot that Callum's played. I don't think you see people playing that shot against him often enough.
No, I would agree.
Do you know what I mean? It's like there's a big gap there, there's a big hole, but rather than just thinking, I'm just going to get into these and there's a load of opportunities, people play a little bit of a 2 or 3 yards over and a bit of tippy-tappy, and that just shows. I think that was how you can play against Callum. Callum's just shown us how to play against himself.
Yeah,
go for it.
Be aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So Dan Taylor gets in now and bobs up to just up and over the middle.
Played one here, Dan.
Great lead.
Very good lead.
So we're just looking at that jack running probably about 2 or 3 yards further than the steepest part of the crown. So just get into there where the ball is and they drizzle over the top, and this goes around the corner now.
And in the other corner, Callum's just panned the jack.
Pan the pig. Where does Josh go? So I hope he does just dibble over the middle. We get to better for our cameras if we've got 2 ends right up in the middle. 2 good balls there from Dan. So this is where again will we see the positive shot? Doesn't have to have a full out strike, but just a really positive runner and open these up.
Striking top.
2 for Dan.
I'm just looking at where Jack's back bowl is there, or side bowl. It's almost going too fast for me. Good saver.
Yeah, just play something controlled, wait and see if you can fudge the jack around the corner or something with his ball where it is, yeah.
But still a good effort, good saver. 8-13. So if I'm right then, is Dan, I mean Callum's obviously got the experience, the knowledge and the green knowledge, but are we saying second in terms, is it Josh and Dan both at similar green knowledge in terms of how much they've played the green over the years?
I should say so. Probably the pair of them probably know as much of the green as each other.
Yeah, so Jack's really up against it, playing like there's 3 lads on the green that really know it, and Jack's the kind of the outsider that's coming from nowhere and shown that he's just played it well.
Yeah, this would be Jack's second only time here. He'd have come to qualifying and
unbeaten on it though.
Unbeaten, yeah.
I was speaking to Jack earlier on actually, just after the quarter-final game, and he's really up for it. He said he's lost in a lot of competitions. He's come runner-up. He wants to try and go that step further.
Yeah.
And his words to himself were he thinks he's playing well enough to win. So, I mean,
He definitely has done today. He's been as good as anybody, if not the best player on the day.
Yeah, he has played extremely well, and he's line one on here as well.
Dan's just been inconsistent. I think when he played his game against Josh Mordew, which on paper is potentially a hard match, Josh wasn't playing as well as he can do, and I think Dan just used the green to his advantage, especially when Josh had such a tough first game against Nathan Baker and kind of he knew he hadn't played that particularly well and just did enough to get out.
Yeah.
So I don't think in that little group that have come through there, none of them have played particularly well and come up against anybody that's played that well. I think even Wayne Rogers would walk away saying, I didn't play that well. So you've got the top 4 players there have all kind of scrapped through, and Dan's the one that's ended up in that position.
Yeah, I think, as you said, I think Jack's definitely been the most consistent player so far on the day. I think the others have just sort of played in patches or when they've needed to.
And that's exactly it. And Callum's the best at that, playing well when he needs to do. The rag's gone down there, and
oh dear.
Jack's led a very good lead here.
Great
as well
lead from
Dan.
Jack.
Just flip in and out of concentration, can he, Callum? He can have a couple of ends off, and then he can just flick the switch when he needs to. And
it's a good reply, that, because Callum just dropped his rag in a bit of frustration there, and it just meant that Josh stepped back off the mat and took an extra moment, but he played a good one on the back of it. Callum just gets the ball underneath, runs out. So that game's all to play for at the minute. It's currently 9-11. Callum just in front, now 10-11. And if Jack's lying 2 in this up towards the clubhouse again, he likes this piece on the thumb peg. Dan playing a runner. Still watching it, likes it, got them both. What a great strike that is. 2 strikes. I mean, Jack must be scratching his head now thinking, I've led 4 balls up here into this thumb peg. My furthest bowl away has been 8-inch. Line 2 after both balls, and now he's gone 1 down twice.
He's been punished on both.
It'll be interesting to see where Dan goes from here, because he tried this corner last time and didn't really play anything anywhere near.
If I were Dan, I'd still persist with the corner and just back myself to lead better than I did. I think Jack's bowls weren't great on this mark in the corner.
Agree.
And I think now he might be able to find an odd little bit of land that Jack's not as comfortable with, but I still think if you know the green and the opponent doesn't, go and use the green.
Correct.
Decent lead though, all being said.
Yeah,
nice
decent.
length ball. Dan Taylor leads out at 15-9 behind Jack Desmond, that's new to this particular part of the world.
Well, it's just given up, I think. It's not a bad bowl there, really, Jack's reply.
Meanwhile, Callum is eyeing up for the strike, so we might get our cameras on that. might miss that just playing across, as I don't think we'll be able to get to that one. Look at Dan's watch his feet. I think he was half waiting for Callum to strike, and it's almost put him off playing this bowl. So Callum just striking across the ends. Missed it. I think it just put Dan off his stride there, almost thinking if Callum's going to strike or not.
I think Callum's starting to get a little bit frustrated here.
It's not very often you see Callum completely missing the balls either, is it, Jess?
No.
Josh is just playing tidy at his own game, but 1 to Dan. Staying on that game for the moment. 10-15. Josh Bradburn leads out. He's got a big stride across himself. We were watching earlier, we had the camera on his foot position on the mat, his heels round the edge of the mat, and he's striding across. And I did think this would be something interesting because it's kind of Callum's delivery.
Yeah.
Playing a similar like finger peg, just floating them off that big lump. Good lead.
Me and Josh are a similar ages. I think he might be a couple of years younger than me, and I think that's definitely something that he's worked on, or he's definitely changed his delivery, because it didn't used to be. He didn't used to go across himself that much. It seems to be working for him so far today.
Definitely, he's 12-11 up now, and he's led a decent kind of 2.5 foot lead, and coming in for a second. He's tracked well with both bowls. Callum sending this before that stopped. He's just sending them. Is Callum now?
Chance.
Some great effort.
Big, just run out. Just saves in the end. 13-11. One thing that might help Josh is a little bit that he was comfortable with Scott Harris in that last game, and then Scott put him under the pressure for the last 15 minutes. I think that just kind of like gets you going a little bit.
Revitalises
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
yeah.
Just it could have been too easy. Could have drifted through. Could have won another game 21-12 after beating Chris in the first game 21-12, and then all of a sudden you find yourself in a big match against a big character, and you've not quite been out of your comfort zone. So maybe that little rally from Scott will have helped Josh going into this match. Callum walking, where's he going now with this? Callum walking up there.
Seems to be searching a little bit here, Callum.
He is, yeah. The rag has gone off now. He's taken the rag off. Sun just dips behind the clouds in the distance for a moment.
In the other game, Jack Desmond's just stretched his lead by a further 2. He's now 17-10 up.
17-10. It looks like there's only one winner in that match.
Yeah, I agree.
Shorts and t-shirt all day as well.
He'll be cold before long.
So looking at this potential measure here between Callum and Josh. Just slows the game down a little bit. Has Josh taken one out here, Harry?
I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really focusing. I was looking across at the other game.
Yeah, we've got Jack 17-10 in front, and Dan's just not got to grips with this game, has he? He's not quite found his way. He's tried a couple of things, but Jack's just been persistent and consistent.
He has, yeah. As I say, he's played very well. I'll say it again, I watched him when he was qualifying. He beat Leighton Roberts and Greg Smith. He played extremely well, and again today he's played well.
I mean, I don't think it's unfair to say that most people watching and want to see Callum in the final, they love watching him play, but I think from an intriguing kind of competition point of view, and to have a really good match, to see Jack versus Josh, Desmond versus Josh Bradburn in the final could be a really tasty affair, because they've both been as good as each other. Obviously,
yeah, you're right, yeah. Exactly.
Long way to go yet. Dan's just found one there, I think. 11-17 now. Dan Taylor with block in hand. Josh Bradburn leading out on the finger peg back towards us. Just underneath the crown. Just avoiding the bumps of the rabbit scrap there. And he's got a good lead. It's another good lead. Callum's getting faster. Callum, I don't know if he's trying to find his way into this game or
Looks like
walking after this one with a little bit of menace on his face.
One.
I think he's decided to have just a little word with himself as Callum and say, you better turn up quickly.
Say Josh has just stretched away from him 14-11.
Good effort here. Just underneath, is it?
Yeah, underneath here, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how they just set them up a little bit higher, and I'm thinking it's a good effort, and then instantly you can see they dive under. Should be 2.
Callum's got another good one coming in here as well, yeah.
Just can't see behind Dan's legs, but if he cannons his own, it's...
Ooh. May have just pushed it through. Looks like Josh only giving him 1. Nope, 2. It
2.
is.
13-14. Yeah, Dan's just thrown a big longer mark into a corner, not being in too much, and Jack misread that. Glances the short bowl and would have been off the green missing. I think Dan's got one more chance, hasn't he? One more, if he can get a little run for 2 ends and just bring himself to maybe 14 or 15, 17, he's got a chance.
He needs 2 big ends to get himself back into the game, yeah. Jack can't get.
Yeah, just put those down with it. That's the least confident he's looked all day in going into that corner.
Yeah, he's dropped 2 here as well. 17-13. Another good end here for Dan, and Dan's well back into the game.
I think Dan throws something bizarre now. Go up to the scoreboards on a big finger peg or something like that. Just something that's going to be difficult to read as somebody doesn't know the green.
He's gone full bifters.
Yeah, see, I'm just not sure.
Some good hands there from Josh Bradburn to divert the balls away from the jack.
The only thing with this mark that is played is it is what it appears. It's a long way off the crown, reach, but it might help Jack that there's a bit of downhill finish in this corner, isn't there?
There is, yeah. I mean,
so
to be honest with you, I'm not a corner player myself.
Great
I don't play
lead.
the corners on here at all.
It's a great lead.
But no, that's an immaculate lead, corner to corner.
It's what he needs. He's been lacking a good lead, as Dan, for most of this game, but when he's really needed one, that's marvellous. It's a decent effort by Jack.
The ball Jack's played there is a great corner.
Probably
corner
wins.
ball
Probably
on this
wins the
green.
end.
Wins probably most ends, but yeah, Dan's led extremely well, to be fair.
Well, we're seeing Dan shuffling after this ball. Callum shuffling after his ball's out of shot. This is both these players probably need a little bit of that. This is another excellent ball. Oh, he's unlucky. He's unlucky.
Just backs into Jack's ball.
Yeah, he's built a wall, but deserved to be pairing. Did that? It was another immaculate delivery and perfectly roaded. Well, that's a big shot. He's got lucky as Josh there. The wry smile. Well,
Dan takes another one against Jack, which takes that game to 14-17 as they go.
yeah, 14-17, and Dan's just another lead away from being right back in it. Josh with a big hit there, though.
Yeah,
15-13, his line one down, and it could have been
that was a great hit.
14 apiece. 15-13's big points at this particular part of the match. Can he back it up with a lead? He has done.
Sure can.
Great lead to Josh up to the middle,
good lead.
while Dan leads out. I mean, I say 3/4 corners on here, but they are deep corners, so it's beyond full corners on most greens. I think we need to be fair to say he's playing the corners here.
They are deep corners, and say there's only one man who goes as deep in these corners. His name's Dave Wild, and he's currently watching live in Morocco. So, I don't know if he's around a pool or in a bar somewhere. He
Very
loves
good.
a pint, but
He's the corner man to beat, is he, on these greens?
no, he does play them well. He'll be chuckling to himself now.
Right, Callum's going to be, what's he going for here? Strike coming? Big strike. Oh, it's just not going his way, is it, at the minute?
Not at all.
It's not going his way.
17-13.
And there's a little bit of rain and drizzle blowing in now. Not enough to make a big difference to the playing conditions, but a couple of clouds drifting in over our right shoulders. Great ball from Dan Taylor. Great reply. Great reply.
Great ball.
A lead that was about 4 foot too far. Jack beat it with a good length ball. But fair play to Dan, because that's a really big reply. Jack playing a runner, still watching it. He's walking after it. He's running after this. He likes it. He likes it.
Great.
Oh, he's been unlucky. He's been unlucky. For the first time, we've seen just a smidgen of emotion there from Jack. He kind of liked that. He went full on, not the Jack.
Dan's well back into that game now.
Yep,
Pair
5-7,
now and
15-17.
the game's on.
Jack looking composed, just strolling up. He's certainly not rushing.
He's taking his time.
He might start feeling this bit of a breeze and the rain coming in, though, just in shorts and t-shirt, if he loses a couple more leads. Again, just out of shot. Josh leading down this bottom left-hand corner near us and goes 4 foot too far, 5 foot too far on his lead. Callum beats it, but not a good one. Room here. You do feel this is a bit of a, you've got to beat this, Callum, really, otherwise the game is getting away from you. Scratches one.
Callum flies in.
Yeah.
Once Callum away he goes, 14-17.
Yep, and the rain just starts to
Pick up.
come down a little bit heavier, hopefully just a passing shower. Would be a shame to spoil 2 good matches if it would get a downpour. Dan Taylor leads a 4-5 foot lead. 3/4 corners, great reply from Jack, just bobs one on it.
Great ball.
Glorious sunshine, half the green in shadow as the evening sun begins to dip. But now we've got a sprinkling of rain, and sometimes when you're a bit behind in the match, this is the type of weather you're hoping that changes your fortune.
It sure is, and Callum's led a great ball down here
Oh, Dan,
towards the clubhouse.
good effort, just gone out. He's played as good a shot as he could have done, but just gone out. Well, Jack heads off for the jumper. What we're saying, Harry, in that far corner, he was got his Callum on with the good one next to the Jack.
So extremely good lead. He's coming like 2 on as well.
I think this might be the mark that gets him out of jail, because it's been the mark that he's been playing.
Josh's got a great effort. He's just going to dip out.
Does it go off the green? Does it? No, it doesn't.
No, he's just going to hold one to Callum.
Good saver in the end. 15-17. You just get that sense, don't you, if Callum plays this mark like he did against John Dewey for a couple of minutes. You're just reading a really different. I mean, again, I haven't played this mark, I haven't played the green, but you're just reading a really different feel of like such a long way, a lot across the flat part of the green to the edge of the green. It's understandable why people play so timid on the first bowl, and they're leaving them well short.
Callum's played this edge extremely well. There's a couple of people on the side supporting him, and I mean, obviously that helps. As you know, Callum thrives off support around the green. He loves it.
I mean, you've got to say, looking at the final 16 and the balance of the draw, and I know he's playing Michael B. I know how good Michael is. I get that. But if somebody's offering 2-1 at the start of the day on Callum, it's a big price, and so there's bound to be a few that have had a little tipple on that. And
there's a couple that have had a go, I think, but not as many as you'd probably think.
Right, fair enough. Maybe it might be one of those where sometimes from the local end there's a bit more kind of credit and respect for the local bowlers who people know and see, but from outside view sort of thing looking in, you can't see past Callum at that sort of
you can't,
in a field like this.
He's just panned his bowl down here in this far right hand corner.
Yeah, a wonderful jack if you're playing corners right into the apex, just about kind of a yard either side of it, but he's binned his lead. Oh, this didn't come out well. This did not come out well.
This is a big M for Josh here.
I'm very, very surprised he hasn't played the edge that he's been successful on in the earlier rounds. He's gone full in, absolutely full in, and well, just left what should be a gimme 2, but yeah, does enough.
Josh just scabs in. Big
Callum not happy with himself, but I think that's I think again, I can't tell that man what to do. He's done it all, but it seemed a questionable decision in my view going into that corner.
Yeah, you'd expect him to come back up here on this edge, but I mean, obviously they've not really played corners at all this game.
Yeah,
so
it's probably
Josh's arm maybe.
Probably just find himself chancing something else. So 2 to Dan at 17-18 now. Is Jack just starting to feel the dip in his form, and Dan's clawed all the way back from nowhere really. So 17-18, Dan Taylor leading out against an impressive Jack Desmond. Just let the water in the last 5 minutes, and Dan's just upped his game. And Josh Bradburn is leading out 19-15 against Callum Raitt, who's just had a poor end as Callum when he was right back in it. So maybe a couple of twists and turns still to see. Josh Bradburn, did he get there? Has he sent it? If he's not sent it, he's not going to be on.
It's a big end here for Callum.
Yeah, I think Josh has found there that he just maybe that you see the finish line and you
too far.
Not paired. See the finish line and he just squeaked both his bowls. Probably his first one wasn't as bad as it might look. (16-19). Callum now needs to have a very good 4 minutes if he's going to stay in this competition.
He needs a lead down here now in this left-hand corner.
Dan has just had a terrible end. It's not a good end all round, but Jack will be quite happy to stick his hand up and say 1. Only 1 Harry there.
Yeah, 1 to Jack here.
Well, he was threatening there was Dan, and he just had a
It's gone off
bit
to
of
the
a
side
shocker.
of the green. Jack has here for a swig of a pint of lager.
See it, don't you, with the players? Just get to that business end of the match and you throw a couple of bad balls and it just This can be very frustrating. It's how you respond next. Callum playing to catch Josh too far there, I think, but
Yeah, he's
left himself short.
plays 2 poor
Right,
balls.
well, shot to game.
4.5 foot short, you're just under a yard off, 2.5 foot.
2 poor balls. Josh just needs the one.
Callum
to
gives him the
take the game.
correct information there, yeah. Well, you won't get a better chance to beat Callum. You won't get a better chance. Yeah, and that's he's played well. He's played well there. Callum under himself in many ways, but Josh Bradburn very impressive there. 21-16 win.
Josh played extremely well there.
He did, and I thought that I just did feel that was going to be the game that would. If Callum was going to lose today, I felt that Josh was looking like the most likely player to beat him. That's
he's played Callum in his own game as well.
Yeah. He just hasn't really been thrown off a length anywhere, and I think because of his green knowledge, he knew enough about what to do when Callum was trying different things with him. Callum will be disappointed with how he's played, but he can't do it every match, can he? He's got to give us mere mortals a chance every now and again.
And I will say, with Jack Desmond and Dan Taylor still on the green and Josh Bradburn through, there will be a new name, albeit a new trophy. A new name to the winner of the competition.
Very good. Jack leaving both bowls just short here. That's again, it's just that kind of like teasing each other. Neither of them really wanting to finish it and win. 19-17 up. You need 2 better bowls than that. Could easily be 19 across here, Harry, after this. Should be 19 across, but this is certainly reached.
Yeah.
In and out the back.
Cannot go through. 1 down.
Understand how he's played that. You want to be confident. You want to make sure you're there. You don't want to run into those short bowls, but just a bit too much adrenaline. And
Dan will be disappointed with that.
He will be. I mean, because now you've got to win 2 ends at least.
Yeah, he can really get himself back into the game there and leave well, and the game might be his. But
I just think if he throws a long kind of into the corner, but not straight into the corner, just off of it. Just ask a bit of a question of. I think every time he aims for the corner, I think it just gives Jack like the obvious read on what to do. Reach up, whereas you throw it underneath the corner or off the corner, and you just might be getting your opponent searching for a length. Last time I said that though, he did lead an absolute smoker. So let's see where this lead is.
Just on the bottom side.
Not much finish behind the Jack there, has it? Because he really sent that. Is he playing to catch him short here, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the last couple of times I've played the corners, Jack has been short. I mean, he's definitely not short here.
He's read this up the land, but he's buzzed it.
He's gone out.
He's not been done short. Right.
It's a big end now here for Dan Taylor. He can try and stick one here a yard short of the Jack. Pressure's really on Jack then.
Just drying his hand off and composing himself. You do feel it's just like one good bowl.
Dan must like it. He's going after
it seemed light from the hand, but there's
keen.
a little bit of finish in that top corner. They do seem to run well into it.
We'll finish a little bit, not quite. Forces Jack to play a positive
I do feel if he's going to win this match, he needs to win this end, Jack. Has he taken too much out, or does it get past that front ball? If it beats the front ball, it wins. Does it beat the front ball?
Taking too much out here.
1. 19 apiece.
Game on.
You say Dan goes favourite now.
Yeah.
Green knowledge, blocking hand, 19 apiece, and it's the first time this afternoon that Jack's been under more pressure than his opponent, let's say.
Dan's taking him straight back to the other corner.
Is this Dan's normal game, playing a distance, or is it just something he's adapting in this particular match this afternoon? Because he went with Josh a little bit. Josh Modger tried to take Dan longer, but Dan kept scoring. But then Dan played shorter going back.
Dan does play. He's got a bit of an all-round game, to be honest with you. He'll play long, he'll play short. I mean, he's probably
good lead.
One of the most underrated players, I should say. He is extremely good.
He's played a really good lead there. Jack following up after this. I know it's a bit quicker in this corner, but I'm having this just dropping shy.
Yeah, he's going to be short here.
Just a bowl short. Does it limp?
Not quite.
Dan needs to know who's on here because there's a bit of jeopardy in knocking that ball in. he plays the same bowl, he'll be delighted.
Yeah.
If he can get to a point, if he can lie 2 here. I think there's just too much of Jack Bowles in his eye. Now, can Jack win game here? Play a length onto his own. He's got a. If Jack Bowles the winner but catches his own on the way through, he could get them both. He'll settle for just bowling one in, to be fair, but.
Short.
Oh, he's never sent it, has he? He's never sent it.
Dan takes advantage. He's not been in a lead many times in this game, but he certainly is.
No, just the first time he's in front, 2019. Just dropping a little bit darker, dropping a little bit cooler.
Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit chilly up here now.
Definitely.
On the scaffolding.
And that's where the slow and steady walk across the green can sometimes go against you if you just lose your rhythm a little bit yourself. I'm not saying he's slowing the game down, he's been at that pace all day, but
yeah.
Just played a couple of short bowls and you might need the adrenaline running a bit more, you might need a bit, loosen yourself up a little bit more. Dan's gone after a couple of bowls now and probably looks a little bit more positive of the two. His chest's puffed out a little bit more in the last couple of ends.
He's stretching straight back out to the corner he's just come from as well, on the top left hand side even.
You're just saying to yourself, one good lead here.
Yeah.
One good lead. It came out well. He likes it. He can't help himself but get after this. I always think if you just stand on the mat, you might have to go play one, but he can't help it because he loves it.
It's a great lead.
Picks it up as well. Great bowl.
It's a great lead at 2019.
You could tell he didn't want to go after it, then he just decided, I'm going to have to go after it. I like it too much. Jack's stalking this. He's getting a bit more of a march on as well. I think he likes this, you know. I think he likes this. What a ball that is. What a ball that is.
Great ball. It's an extremely good ball.
Never watch the ball. Never watch the ball, always watch the man. It gives you everything you need to know. Now, if there's anything in Dan's favour here, it's that ball is hanging out.
Punch it out.
Yep. It can be anything from a foot too far to 4 or 5 yards too far, and he can pump on, well, anything really. He's got a chance. I think we'll know as soon as we let go. No, it didn't come out as well, if you ask me, and his body language tells me that this is not going where it needs to go. Just gripped the ball a little bit too longer on his delivery. Now, Jack, he's not thought about this. He's just got down and sent it. He's not even tried for one, has he?
He's not. No, he's not taking the risk.
Oh, Jack.
20 across.
I'm not saying that he had every chance, every right to get another there, but I do think that was a little bit of a naive bowl he's just played. Maybe go up and assess the end a little bit. Can you really knock him in?
See what you can do, yeah.
Yeah, I just think if you've got a chance to win the game, you've almost got to have a look at it.
Where does Jack go?
That's interesting that he's not even attempted that there. I don't know if either of them are going to be feeling the cold. It's definitely dropped 2 or 3 degrees chillier in the last 5 minutes, and Jack's just in his short and t-shirts.
It has dropped cold.
See the pink flesh of his arms now, picking up that chill.
There could be some nerves here as well. There's a lot of money at stake between the semi-final and.
There is, yeah, definitely.
And winner.
He likes that. He likes this. I did think he got it away quickly and got it away well.
Not quite going.
It's a good lead. It's a good lead. It's improved with every couple of inch it ran. If you beat it, Dan, you're probably beating it with your first, because I wouldn't want to be beating that with my second. What an effort this is. What a bowl this is.
Great.
That's a great shot. It's a great shot.
Jack's got to play positive.
Got to knock it off. I think you've got to go for it. I think if you knock it off, it's not getting beaten.
It's got to play through. Great ball on 20 across.
Well, it's deserved the finish this game. It's been Dan's done marvellous to get back in it. Jack's been very, very impressive. What's he got here? What's he got, Harry? What's he got? Oh, he's got the gap.
Oh. It's extremely unlucky there from Jack.
Yeah, it is
Played
a.
his play
I mean,
extremely well all day.
it's a good strike. It's a really good strike, and he's.
He'd be gutted with that.
Yeah, he could have feathered that Jack. He could have. Yeah.
It's the right shot. It was the shot to play.
Fair play to Dan. He's played a marvellous reply ball there because it was a steady lead. Well, there we have it. We've got our final lineup. We've got Dan Taylor just beating Jack Desmond 21-20. And he'll play Josh Bradburn, who's had the most impressive win of the day, no doubt, 21-16 against Callum Raitt. So the Burway Bowling Club, or the PML Burway Open, should I say, at Burway Bowling Club final of 2026 will be Dan Taylor against Josh Bradburn, and that'll be coming up in a few minutes' time. So the final of the PML Burway Open 2026 is just about to commence, with Josh Bradburn leading out against Dan Taylor. Both have been impressive throughout the day for different reasons. Josh Bradburn has been probably arguably the best player in terms of form and finesse. Marvellous wins at each round so far, looking really confident on the green. Obviously picking out the last game, beating Callum Raitt in the semi-final. Dan Taylor probably scrapped his way through a little bit more. Good win against local legend Wayne Rogers in his opening game. Beat Josh Mordew in the second round, and then came back from nowhere really in a game against Jack Desmond. And Jack from Derbyshire has been outstanding on the green and can consider himself unlucky to lose 21-20. But we have it, the final, playing for the massive prize fund, and the big £1,300 first prize is now between Dan Taylor and Josh Bradburn. So Josh just leads us out straight over the middle of the rink. Anybody picking up on the feed in the last few minutes hasn't watched throughout the day. This green's rather big, a good kind of 40 metre by 40 metre green, and it's got a very, very distinct crown in the middle that's quite prominent, that wouldn't necessarily be picked up on our cameras from the position we are on the gantry. So Josh leads out 1-0. With that big stride across himself. Right heel on the mat, steps across with his left leg, and he's just kind of playing down this bank now. Just in front of his feet there's a big, big dip in the green as it levels out into that far corner. So a tentative start by both players, not the best lead by Josh. The sun has just dipped in the sky and behind some clouds since the semi-final. The sun has now gone in, the floodlights are on. Surrounded by many of the bright white LED lights, but we're being told the green's probably playing similar to how it has done all day. Obviously, just dipping a little bit in the evening shadow, but it's been immaculate. Good second ball there by Josh, mended on his first. So again, we've had a good look at both of these players throughout the day. Josh has been consistent. He's played really tidy. He's kind of led well, playing these shortish marks, and kind of had a reply to everything. Beat Chris Mordew of Yorkshire in his opening match 21-12, and looked really comfortable throughout it. Was sitting very comfortable against Scott Harris in the second game, and then Scott came really back and Josh just got out 21-18 before a rather convincing victory against the tournament's favourite Callum Raitt 21-16. Callum probably losing his length in the second half of that game as Josh got stronger and stronger, beating him at his own match. Like I said, Dan's experience of the green has helped him out throughout the afternoon, and he's beaten a couple of one local player in Wayne Rogers and a couple of travelling players, and just tried to use the green to his advantage. But there's been a little bit of a hiccup here very early on, and I think Dan sent the wrong ball, and Josh is very sportingly saying, will you replace that ball? So the rule here, I think, is being confirmed by the referee. So I believe that Dan has sent the wrong ball and the referee is removing that ball from the end. And Josh, I think, quite sportingly saying, have it back. Oh, that's what it appears to be. Not too sure. So as Jesse rejoins me in the commentary gantry, we just had a very strange end there. Dan sending the wrong ball, which to say he's got stickers all over his balls and Josh doesn't, was a rather bizarre moment. But anyway, the referees confirmed the ruling, which means that Dan loses a shot there. So Josh manages to escape that end with a point, having only had to play against one of Dan's balls. So Josh leads out 3-0. Jesse, successful day?
Yes, very. Been really happy with it. I'll be honest. Learned a few things, do's and don'ts for next year. But all in all, really happy. I'd just like to say thanks for yourself and Sam for travelling down and doing this for us. We really do appreciate it.
Hopefully it puts another competition on the map.
Yes.
And it's given an opportunity for people to see some bowls this afternoon and this evening that they otherwise wouldn't have seen. Especially those people that are less able to travel around and watch the game, that are kind of, let's say, the armchair supporters that still value the crown green they get on offer via their TV sets and various devices.
Yeah, and it puts us on the map down here as well, to be honest, Tom, because we're almost forgotten about down here. Yes, we're Shropshire, but we're South Shropshire, if that makes sense. So it helps put us on the map as well. And as you've said and commented earlier, the facilities here are marvellous, to be fair.
Yeah, really good setup. Really good setup. There's been a couple of juniors on the green next door to us playing all afternoon. Nice cricket pitch in the distance. Is the bowling club associated with the cricket in any way, or is it a separate entity?
I think I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I think it's all under the same sort of bracket.
Yep.
But run separately, if that makes sense.
Yeah, like many bowls and cricket clubs are.
I think the landowners are the same, but yeah, it's run as two separate entities. But don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest.
So tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking that Josh is looking the more likely of the two going into this match. He's been very, very consistent all afternoon and into the early evening. Big win against Callum. Dan's almost like just kind of ridden his luck in times and used the green to his favour, but arguably has not played as well as Josh over the afternoon. Yeah,
100% agree with that. And Josh will be full of confidence after beating Callum, as most people are after they beat him. To be honest, I missed the last sort of few moments of Dan and Jack's semi-final game, and I couldn't believe that Dan had actually got out, because Jack seemed to be fairly comfortable most of the game, didn't he?
He did. He just stepped up a bit, did Dan, and he did lead well, and Jack can feel a bit hard done by, because he did strike at the last. He had a good lead at last end, and Dan beat it, and he struck and went through the gap. But I think Dan just seems to be doing this all afternoon. He's just kind of finding one when he's had to do, and it keeps himself within reach, and then is using the green to his advantage when he's got the jack. So obviously he's not going to have quite the same luck against Josh. Josh knows the green equally as well. So Dan gets his first score of the final. 1-5.
It's always a tricky one, this, because these two obviously play together from the same club. So when you're meeting a major final like this, yeah, I don't know, some people lap it up, don't they, and can get really switch on and dialed in, and others struggle when you're playing against a friend.
I think they'll probably be fair to each other and let the balls do the talking, and probably both seeing it this afternoon as an opportunity to claim a big first prize. It's this whether you're local or not, when you get an opportunity in a final to play something big and you're not necessarily coming against one of the big competition men, you see it as a real opportunity to get your name out there.
Yeah, agreed.
I think every bowler in it today has probably been waiting for Callum to dip out, and
Yeah.
If and when he will do, and now he has done, it's kind of anybody's game. And Dan's probably, there's a little bit of Dan thinking, well, that's maybe a little bit of a bonus as well. I've scraped through, I've just got out of jail in my last game, and now I'm playing somebody who's not been disrespectful to Josh Bradburn, but just not as formidable as in the competition circuit.
Correct. Yeah, a couple of the members I've just been talking to were, from a personal point of view, I'm slightly disappointed Callum hasn't made it to the final, because Callum's a close friend of mine away from bowls. But at the same time, if you look at it, it may be a positive thing that Callum hasn't won it again, because it may attract more people,
yeah,
and they can see that Callum can be beat on the green.
Yeah, I know what you're saying with that.
If Callum, like Harry said earlier, Callum I think's won it 6 times when it was the old format. If he'd have gone and won it again, it almost becomes sort of the Callum show, doesn't it? Like most other competitions seem to be at the moment. But yeah, with somebody new winning it, and with this format, first time, say a different name going onto the trophy, it's good for the tournament on a whole, I think.
Good lead by Josh here. Just scored at last end, 6-1. It's a strong start. It's one that you want. Dan found himself in a similar position in the last game.
Unlucky Dan.
Just gone through the gap there.
Wobbled out, yeah.
Big step across himself there, and he likes it.
It's funny that you picked up on that, Tom, that Josh was stepping across himself, and I just, on the way, just chatting to him before the final, I said to him, I noticed you've tweaked your delivery. And he said, yeah. He said, that's what happens when you watch Callum play a lot of bowls. He said, I've sort of modelled my delivery on his. He said, he's become sort of a bowling hero of mine. He said, so.
Maybe the marks is playing and the angles is playing. There's a bit of an intelligence in that, in terms of like watching and learning, particularly from the peers around you that you get to see often.
Yeah, because he is, if you notice, isn't he? He's playing sort of Callum's game.
It really is.
Finger peg up to the pip, using his delivery.
Really deliberate foot positioning every time. Big step across, and it's just and even how he lingers on the delivery, like Callum does when he's in full flow as well. If you just watch that moment just here, when he just kind of hangs the arm and trots after it. But Dan's going to have to get in quickly. 8-1 down. A lot of the game's got away from him already.
Correct.
Decent lead, but room. Dan's very much the other way, isn't he? Just steps on the inside and pushes.
Correct.
Pushes the ball out, and that's where you can see here where he's fighting against his delivery. Good ball on the outside.
Yeah,
good length shot.
Good reply. Josh seems to have put this down light again. I may be wrong. I normally am.
Big runners. It's these big express balls he's playing with.
Yeah, good one.
If it's won it, I wouldn't mind seeing Dan play a runner at this on the inside if it stays quite true. I think this is a positive shot. I think it's the one that he should have gone for. Yeah, good
unlucky
shot. Being unlucky to take it out like he did, but I think if he just plays a bit tentative there and just tries to wait for things to happen, if you don't score again, you're 9, and then what do you do? I like that shot. It shows that he's not afraid of going for it and making something happen when it's not quite going his way at the minute. Referee positioning the jack where it went off.
Bless him.
Playing by the rules. This is whether the players do or not.
I think as the game's evolved, Tom, there's a little bit more rule breaking going on, isn't there? But
it is. It's that fine line. I know that many people will be watching and they'll be saying, well, he's not got his foot on the mat. He's not waiting for the jack to stop. He's X, Y and Z. But there is kind of a, let's say, the unwritten etiquette that the top players have in these tournaments, where they know that the people that play, they're not cheating. They're just using them, manipulating the rules to suit their advantage. And in the same way, if Dan stepped off the mat 6 inches to the right, Josh isn't going to turn around and say anything to him about being stood where he is.
No.
And that's where sometimes you've got to be canny in these situations and think, right, my opponent's standing and delivering 6 inch off the mat, so that's where I'm going to deliver from. And you've got to kind of use that little bit of nous about you, and that's where, whether we call it sportsmanship or whether we call it kind of gamesmanship, whatever, it's just using that little bit of extra that you sometimes need.
Yeah, I think it's gamesmanship, but it's also showing your opponent or your opposition utmost respect. If I know that sounds a bit daft, can be, do you know what I mean? Trying things against your opponent, but you're trying things to try and beat them because you respect how good they are.
Absolutely,
So.
yeah. It's not. It's like it's not the attempt. It's not any attempt to put people off or deceive them or anything like that. It's just manipulating the laws of the game to try and find the advantage. And the player's delivery and the marks we choose to play and how we set the jack is a huge advantage in this game, which is very different, obviously, to like the flat green game.
Well, someone strikes on the little green. Good lead here from Dan. Hard for line, this piece.
Big 2 chalks there, isn't it? Big 2 going up there. 3-8. Very important at this stage of the game that he does stay within arm's length.
Josh has buzzed. Does he hit anything?
He's had a lot of success in this corner, as Dan, throughout the day. He's obviously playing this half the distance he has done in previous matches, but he does like coming into this corner finger peg.
As we said earlier, you just normally get a bit of trail into this corner. He's got another good bowl here, Dan. He doesn't want it too close, does he?
Well, I think this is where you see how good he's feeling, because if he's either got the full blast, or you're trailing that jack through. Now, just the position 8-3, do you?
He's full driving, Tom.
Just get them off the green, or
watching it.
Gone straight through the gap between the bowls. Now that's interesting. I mean, I don't know Josh too well, his style of play, but I know he's had a few strikes there. I've been told that he does like a decent strike.
Yeah,
but there was a scoring opportunity there for me. Maybe it's me not knowing the green. I don't know if it's easy to just throw it a little bit big or it's hard to play the line. But he had the back bowl and the jack was hanging out. He could have sat on the middle bowl. He could have ran the jack through. Could have maybe looked a bit more scoring opportunity there. Anyway, 5-8.
I think it's hard to play a runner into that corner, to be honest.
That's fair enough. Yeah, fair comment. I don't know the green that well. I don't know if it is a green where playing the 2 or 3 yards over is easy. If they do drift around a little bit or hang, it's sometimes the big strikes the right shot, isn't it?
Correct. Dan hasn't sent this jack as far as he has been sending it. Like you said, he's been playing this sort of corner and getting himself out of trouble, but he certainly hasn't sent the jack as far as he has been earlier today.
It's what I call a no man's land jack, this, and I think sometimes when you're playing a player that does know the green, it can be a very effective tactic because you're just getting them searching for a length a little bit.
Yes.
Going into the corner, which worked well against Jack Desmond, because Jack doesn't know the green too well, but maybe against Josh, actually, a bit of no man's land might be helping him out. It was a good effort by Josh, though, to be fair. He's nearly beaten the lead. This looked light. He looked to put this down very lightly.
Yeah, he's short.
There's a lot of finish over this crown, but this can't get.
It's short. If the green is starting, now is the time where the green will start just to die a little bit.
Just be far enough, really. That's all you can say, isn't it? A nice bit. Make sure you're yard over, and
he thinks he's underneath because he's got a lean on.
I think he wants to miss this bowl over the left.
Yeah, you're right.
Just over the top now. Just over the top. I think this could be an effective tactic for Dan if he can lead well, because there's not really a lot to sit on. You're asking a big question of your opponent to beat a good lead. I think if he plays this distance, he could have a little bit of success as long as he leads within 2 foot.
We've got the fans now asking for the commentators to wave.
Getting some stickers, Jess, up here.
I had one good year, Tom, and I remind them about it now and again when they tell me that I can't play anymore. Just have to bring that out.
Dan comes into this corner again, flipping to the thumb peg this time, probably the position of his last jack and therefore mat. But that's not as tight a lead as he needs. And it's the thing, if he's going to play this mark, if he does lead well, he'll ask a lot of questions of Josh. But the moment he leaves 5 foot of room like this,
good ball.
Josh is likely to step in, which he has done.
Good reply.
Dan Taylor 6-8 behind Josh Bradburn at the minute, and a lead that's allowed Josh to step in.
He's certainly further.
Looks all right to me. Don't know how big his balls are. Just hangs in. It's found a little bit from nowhere, that, hasn't it?
I think it's just stopped in time.
It looked right, and then it just seemed to reverse against the bias in the last 6 inch and may have even turned its nose out. Referee having a good look at this. Once again, I'm not sure it really affects Josh's ball.
Oh, wow.
I don't think it makes a big difference. I think you're still just playing in for one, aren't you?
Yes. Yeah, there's a yard of room, isn't there? Well, he's reached.
Likes it. Or is he running after it in hope? Should get there. Should get to one.
Good ball.
Big runners these. It's a good
ball.
second ball. Yeah, Dan's conceded the 2 as well, so Josh will be pleased there just to get that 4-chalk lead again, an advantage, and up to the middle. He might just move the jack this time and play a little bit off the middle.
Yeah, stop Dan going back and make Dan win 2 ends to get back into a corner.
Dan's had a little bit more success in the middle as well.
No.
Is he just coming this side of it, or is he drifting it back? No, he's drifting it on that favoured kind of slight falling mark at the end. So it's finger peg straight up to the crown. And just as we get about 6 foot from the jack, the balls are turning against the bias right. But only if you're far enough. That ball's short. Probably only needs a yard as well. Sat a couple of yards short at least, but just because he's not got it over the brow of the hill. Dan was underneath it.
Yeah, as you can see, it's just starting to drag now, just a little bit. He likes this.
If it just needs to be another couple of foot further and it'll find its way to the jack. There we go, look, it's finding its way now.
Good ball.
Get it, won't be coming up on the camera just how steep that little area is around the crown.
Dan thinks he's too far, clicking his fingers. And he was right.
I'm thinking the green's a bit, to describe it to people who can't quite see, it's a bit like a cymbal on a drum set, isn't it? It's got that little kind of peak in the middle that falls away very, very quickly. Far more distinct, and that's because of, like you said, it's been built up as the crown. It's a bit artificial, isn't it, from where it once where the green once was. Correct. Do you remember the green before that? Then was it?
I'll be honest, I can't really. The crown's most certainly higher now than it was when I first started playing, but I don't have any great recollections of it, to be honest.
No, I think it's just you can see that the balls are kind of running across that middle part of the green a little bit falsely compared to what they would do on a let's say more a conventional surface. That's why we've seen them drift against the bias.
Correct.
Obviously affects the delivery as well from the hand here. Poor lead from Josh. He's been leading better than that throughout the afternoon.
Dan's a little bit further.
Yeah, 11-6 in front. He would have liked a stronger lead than that. Led a 6 foot in front and left a bit of room for Dan.
Josh has got this out well.
What's he flicking though?
What's he flicking?
What's he flicking?
Oh,
He probably takes that from where that ball was going because it would have travelled that far through. Dan not asking who's on this time. That is interesting. Doesn't want to hit the wrong ball. Oh, he's caught the wrong ball.
No.
A lot of fortune at that end for Josh. Poor lead. Bit of a wild second ball. Knocked his own and then Dan's slid into it. And now Dan's asking who was on. Are you in? And Josh said yes, but might have been worth finding that out before he sent that. 12-6. Quickly it got beyond the halfway mark. Finger peg. Common scenario we've seen today.
I don't think this is a length, Tom. May be wrong, but I don't think this is a length.
It's one of the shorter marks we've looked at. I think Dan's suggesting he's going to have a look at this on the long tapes, isn't he? Oh no, not anymore. Maybe not anymore. That picked up some pace, that ball. If it passed the jack there, the jack must be right on the lip there.
Oh dear.
Therefore, Dan's played timid to it.
Oh, Josh seemed to get this out really well again.
He needs to collect something. I don't think he's going to have the same joy this time. Now, just asking Dan to find a yard past his own if he can.
Yeah, he's certainly further.
I think it'd be easy to see watching this. You might be saying, what are they doing here? They've played 19 metres and they're throwing them nowhere near. But the jack has stopped right on the lip, hasn't it? Left 2 as well.
Poor 2, that.
Very poor 2. Fortunately, he's got a 6-point lead. It just seems to have happened in the last game a little bit for Dan. That he just got that little bit of fortune going his way when he needed it. When it looked like he was going to be down and out of the game, his opponent maybe just left him in.
And see if Dan can lead a bit better into this corner.
So quite quick down here, but obviously a little bit further than the last end they've just played. All downhill.
Slightly inside it, but good.
Yeah, they seem to hold quite well on the inside there.
Good ball.
Nothing for underneath, I take it then. Anything on this side of it?
Yeah, you've got to be slightly wide to it, but you don't want to be too wide. Because as I said earlier, there's a bit of a ridge there, and it will kick them back the other way. Yeah, good reply.
In the mix again, is this ball?
Good effort.
It's in the mix again. Yeah, good ball that. Good ball. Doesn't need to be doing anything more than just trying to kind of sit on that, really, I'd say. Just similar ball to his first. Try and fraction bigger and just rest on that.
I wonder if you'll go stick on the finger. The thumb's a little bit easier. To say if you play on the finger with pace, they do tend to hang out slightly.
Right. Dan's saying it's only one, so yeah, I think he's flicked. I think you've called this, Jesse. I think he's flicking his ball in his hand, but
he's striking. And got the jack.
Good, yeah, he's gone for it again. It just shows he backs himself with the ammo.
Yeah,
maybe the risk of taking his own there was quite slim, and he just wants to kill the end, take the ball out. He's ended up with a fair result, really. 8-12, but the green opens up for Dan now.
I wonder if Dan will send it a bit further or ploy that tactic where he left it in no man's land, as you called it a little bit earlier.
A little bit further. Not quite into the corner though. He still seems to use the corner as his line finder though. He hasn't played off the edge of it. He's not gone towards either of these kind of floodlights. Similar distance. He's just kind of committing to the same shape of land, probably using the crown to his advantage.
Looks
fair lead.
Yeah, decent. Decent. Still probably a yard and a half off.
Yeah, again, this is just where the distance is coming in, isn't it? Distance and roading.
Josh looks slightly inside it to me.
Round the corner now?
Yeah, but it won't go far.
If it wins on a length, it's a decent ball.
Good ball. One of the empty heads steps onto the green.
Last ball wins it. Good length ball in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, good ball.
This didn't look near the land for me.
Short as well.
Well,
that come away a lot nicer.
Can't call it just yet. He's near that bottom ball.
Oh wow!
Oh, he's shanked it off. Well, maybe you start thinking that it's just going your way.
Yeah, I like.
He had a couple of big rubs against Callum at the end of his game where he played. I think he struck and he hits Callum's short ball onto his counting ball, and he had that little ball early on with Dan there where he ran into his own and counted. Sometimes you just need those little glances and those little bits of fortune if you're going to find your name on the silverware at the end of the event. 14-8.
Oh, I like how Dan turned round and sort of shrugged his shoulders and laughed at Josh there when he had that in off.
And they are sometimes the shots when you're with your mates. It's hard to kind of like take your hat off and shake your head and everything like that. But every right to feel a bit aggrieved at that. The only thing you could say is at least Josh reached.
Yeah,
decent lead.
Never up, never in.
Decent lead.
Good one.
Willing it on. Just over 2 foot short.
Dan's slightly underneath it here.
This is his length for me. If he gets to a length, he'll be good.
Good ball.
That's won it, referee. Came out well again. Beautiful delivery. Can he get on his own? Gets on his own. He's all right again.
Good call,
Yeah,
Tom.
nothing wrong with that shot. I made it difficult for Dan. What can he see? Not a lot, I don't think. He hasn't got a lot. I don't know if he's got a shot on here.
Apart from full drive, I don't see how he can get anything out this end, to be honest.
He comes on the peg. He's likely to peg quick into his own. Nearly has done. Hard to read it. Hard to read that sort of shot. 15-8. Josh Bradburn leads. Dan needs a resurgence quite quickly before the game slips beyond his grasp.
Well, I feel it is just starting to slip now, to be honest, Tom.
The only advantage you might have is he was in a, maybe not quite as deep, but in a similar position in his last game. Jack Desmond, who's played absolutely real all day, got himself a good 5, 6, 7 points in front at one point. Even if not remembering exactly how many it was, but Dan just dug in and he had a couple of big ends and a couple of rallying ends, and if he can score 4 or 5 without reply, he will be quickly back in it, but it's going to have to happen very soon. Josh has been strong all day.
It's probably gone a yard. Steady lead.
Common distance are leading on the screen. I've seen watching all afternoon. There's a 2.5 foot's pretty standard.
Yeah, correct.
Good ball.
I don't think Josh is as far.
He's wanting it. I think he wants to rest on something. The way his shoulder's leaning,
Oh, he
just
is.
outside.
Another bad call by me.
He'd like to see these paired up and he gets on the same street. If he doubles up here, Dan, he's 10-15 and the game's looking a lot more favourable for him, which is where we're at.
Good balls.
I think again, I think Josh is reading these marks Dan's playing. I think Dan needs to try plan B now.
Yeah.
Just change his tactic a little bit.
And right on cue, he's doing that, Tom. Avoiding the corner and going across the middle.
I just think he needed to try something. I think it's just one of those where if you keep bidding back into kind of the corner and your opponent's reading a good line and length, even if they're not scoring but they're close, when you get in, just try something different. You've got to lead one, and he has done. But he's just asking the question of Josh now to say, go on then, read this. Obviously Josh does know the green and he's had a few games on it today, so it's not beyond his reach to do so, but
he's trying here. This is a real good effort, this.
Good ball.
Good
Great
ball, Josh.
Great ball. He's feeling a lot of balls today, isn't he?
Yeah. Good ball, that. Well, good effort.
Can he pick something up? Oh, he needed his own. He's been unlucky. Seems to be a quite close playing mark, this, that they've elected.
Yeah, there's
4 balls within 3 foot.
There's a bit of a basin there which they all gather into, and they can come off that ridge. You can get a little bit wider, as you can. Josh has gone wider.
Maybe throwing the jacket 4 or 5 metres further would have been beneficial.
Yeah.
Don't mind him trying something different though. I think you can't just kind of keep sticking to the plan if the plan's not working.
So that's 16-10 to Josh.
16 if that's not on the board. Yeah, 16-10. I think Dan will look a bit happy being on 10 though. It's not looking as far up when you're on the same street. Josh has looked sound everywhere though. Just being confident, playing a length more or less all the way around the green, and he's led well on these marks. Like I said, you did tell me when we first arrived at lunchtime that this mark on the finger peg against this spine would be getting played today, but you had a different player suggesting we'll be playing it.
Correct. It's Callum's piece. Normally charges rent money for people to go up and down here.
Yeah.
Just won't have it now.
Just
everything goes back.
Against it, yeah. So I'm taking it that you've almost got to win it on the near side of the boulders where you look at it.
Correct. But yeah, it really is tough piece this, because you pinch a little bit, it can make you look silly if you get this side of it. You
Yeah,
can end up being 3 yards away.
Yep. So Josh has kicked his own ball out here. So Dan's got a chance at, I don't know how difficult this runner or strike will be straight over the middle, but it's probably the shot he's going to have to play.
He's striking, I think. I think he's told Josh he's going to be striking.
I don't think there's any other shot there really, looking at the positioning of them. He's got to keep it as straight as possible. Still watching. Oh, he's been unlucky. He's been unlucky. I know he wanted the ball, but
that's a couple of pieces of bad luck gone against him in the last sort of four or five ends.
I think he's probably not played well enough yet to deserve the rub, whereas Josh probably has, but he has had 2 or 3 now as Josh, other than hitting that gap early on when he struck that in this bottom right hand corner. 17-10. Start to believe, don't you? Start to sense that you're getting closer and closer to the finish line. Composure for a couple of leads is all he needs now.
Yeah, good lead here. Put the pressure on. Ask a question of your opponent. Oh, that didn't come away great.
So he's riding this big button of a crown and then into this spine, and
here you go, look. He's got this side of it.
He's just run. He's almost run along the ridge. The jack's gone on the far side of the ridge and pegged, and his bowl has just run straight across that ridge. So Dan's bowl should finish inside here. Looks a decent reply. Yeah, he has done it every time he's been asked the question with a big bowl. He's brought one back in.
I don't think this is going.
No. Wonder if that was a little opportunity to make something happen, but he's just trying to play probably a saver more than anything.
Yeah, containing shot.
Yeah. But Dan I think he should be pairing for this, for me, after his first.
He's far enough.
And he has done. As long as he's not too far. 2 good bowls.
Good ball.
2 good bowls. 12-17. Just hanging on to the coattails. Just.
Big end incoming.
What's plan C going to be then? He hasn't been down into this bottom left-hand corner just yet, where we've in this match. Maybe a change of the corners. Nope. Reverting back to what he's comfortable and familiar with. There is an air of just kind of do what you're happy doing when you know that your opponent does know the green as well as you do.
And the crowd are telling him he's bowled a good one.
Good lead.
And he has. These are the sort of bowls Josh has been licking though, isn't it?
Yes.
Of the day. He's not licking
overreach this time.
Buzzed it.
Just seen a few people who've played a good length all day overreaching in that corner. Anybody who's been struggling and been off the pace has been short into it, but anybody who's been reading a length well, Jack Desmond were overreached a couple of times after he'd had a good length. I don't know if it's telling you it's get it there, reach up the hill.
Yeah, generally is a push into that corner.
It's not a good second though. He really needed to improve.
2 to down.
Saying this calling 2, which puts a little bit of pressure. There's a slight stutter there on that delivery. I don't know if you picked that up. He just hesitated.
Yeah, I did.
Just like a little hesitation, but
I think he's a good pace here, Tom. I think
he
really is trying.
Hasn't affected it.
Oh.
Just creeps in.
One to
no,
down.
It hasn't. Wow. Deceptive from where we are then. 13-17, and then this is where we might see Josh have a little glance towards the scoreboard and just see that lead being slowly depleted.
Is he going to try this corner again, or is he going to try something different?
And it's just gradually getting darker and darker as well. The lights are, I mean, it's a big green, lots of lights around it, but the lights are quite concentrated to the areas just beneath them, aren't they? So playing over distance, the read's a little bit more tricky.
Played a bit of a naughty jack here, Dan. He's right on the top of the ridge, so it'll be interesting to see.
I like this.
He's just going to go around the corner now.
Ah, yes, just
caught the ridge. It's not a bad bowl there, that. I wonder if Josh will entertain going the other peg.
Can you just come in on the thumb then and just almost kind of get it pegging up into the hill a little bit?
Yeah, it's almost straight at it, to be honest, Tom. But it's they'll probably be questioning whether it's straight at it or not, still on the mat, not knowing the green. Can make you look daft if you don't slightly reach as well and you catch the ridge.
Yeah.
And you go around the corner, and the next time you overplay and you get the other side of it.
And you're playing, they're arguably playing this from a little bit of knowledge of the green rather than kind of being able to really see it from the position they're in as well. They're looking over the crown. It's
correct. That
jack's landing right up on top of that spine. This is threatening to be short as well.
Look, if you're not quite there, away they go.
2,
and
15, 17, and suddenly Dan's find himself in a very familiar position from what he was in the last game. Out of the game, looked nowhere to be seen, and then a couple of ends later, he's right within it again. Yeah,
Josh may regret punishing them because they weren't good bowls, but they were both a yard and a half away.
You've got the jack in your hand, you're feeling comfortable, you're feeling confident, you get yourself 6-7 points in front, and all of a sudden you've only got 2 to play with and you still need 4 yourself. The pressure's definitely reversing now.
And he's put up another steady enough lead.
Yeah, it's a good lead.
2 foot off.
How often do we see the man though that was 6 points behind get back level, and then that's when they throw the wobbler in?
Yeah, dip out.
So it wouldn't surprise me if Dan gets the 17 apiece. Good reply. If it's there, I think it's just giving up.
Yeah,
as far away from us as it can be in that top corner, isn't it? Very difficult to see.
The crowd have told Dan he's in. And the ref's now having a look. Yep, Dan's in.
Yep. Does he turn over, or does he just play on this inside of his own? On the inside of Josh's last ball, sorry.
I think he'll
stick into the same peg. I think it's just easy to be drawn into playing a bit short when you see your opponent's ball ready to be knocked in.
Yeah, again, Tom, you've called it.
I think he can't help but stand on the mat thinking, don't knock him in, don't knock him in. Whereas if he reverses his hand and plays on the finger and maybe plays a bit more positive,
Josh likes
giving Josh the shot that Dan didn't want to play. Back of the neck. No, it's gone through the gap. Good ball. Little pat on the thigh from Dan.
8-5 or 18-15.
There's more possibility there. Dan playing that ball that Josh has played had the referee said, "You're not on, Dan."
Yeah.
Because he was on, he's played too tentatively and he couldn't afford to do so. There was too much room and all the shots were going in Josh's favour. Just sometimes being that little bit more positive when you need to be, at the risk of knocking him in, you make the shot happen. 18-15. Josh will breathe out now.
Finger peg up to the pip again, just off the side. This is just all uphill now.
Likes this. He followed that up before he'd even let go of it. He knew it was coming out well.
It's all uphill.
Okay, passing the jack here then. If you're 18-inch pass, it's not going to go any further.
Yeah, it won't go far. So it's just everything all uphill.
Play up to your jack, then Dan's done that. Just found a little bit at the end, but referee could just do with being 6 paces closer to the end for when he's been asked here. It's taking him a minute longer to get there. Front ball's on.
Oh, it's come away really well.
Slap of the thigh. Does that mean he's too far? Or is he not happy with it? Short but nuisance value.
Dan's pinched a bit here. Trying to use the crown to kick his ball back down.
Risk of being short because of it. He's urging it on. On his tiptoes in hope there. Josh doesn't look too disappointed.
Josh trying to play the kidder here. I'm going to signal when Dan gets up to the end.
I think Dan's suggesting that his ball's gone in and Josh is conceding that ball. Yep, one. An important ball. 15 now becomes 16. Dan not sure where to go. 16-18. been a good final so far. Not necessarily kind of like the exciting thriller, just a slow burner that's kind of had a couple of twists and turns.
Yeah, it's been a steady game.
Yeah, neither player really getting hold of the match. Josh looking the more likely in the middle phase, but Dan's done everything right to come back into it. Always look to overreach, but it's a length.
Good ball.
Yeah, I find it quite deceptive, that far corner. A few people have seemed to have overreached in it. I think is it a bit of finish at the end, but then there's a long way to get to that corner, isn't there?
Yeah.
As this ball's just shown, just giving up.
The ref taking a minute to get there again.
An unofficial referee saying the front ball's on.
Our captain on a Friday night, Mr. Adam Dovey.
The referee thinks the back ball's on, so it depends how strong the beer is.
Now we're going to have a third and a fourth opinion.
Yeah, Scott Harris coming around to have a look. Harris played back ball as well. Yeah. Back ball, 3-1. So the guy with the pint in his hand that went on and had a look may be wrong.
Drinking on an empty head.
Might be tempted to go and have a look at that. Might be having. I wonder if he'll give it if it's as obvious as the 3-1 suggested.
It's a good ball.
That looks to be the nearest from our position, which was a good read after a slight delay as well.
I think Josh is trying here.
Josh liking this, and Dan's walked up into his land as well, and I think this is just the absolute winner.
Good ball.
Good ball. Yep, well played.
Ball.
Well, that's a well-adjusted ball, putting a little 18-inch 2-foot in and keeping the line.
Big swing that. 19, 16, 18 across. Good ball. Where does Josh go from here? He hasn't really.
I don't think he needs to change his game too much, does he? Really, he can keep doing a similar thing, and he's only a good lead away from being in the chance of bringing the trophy home.
Good ball.
Advantage of playing this type of mark is when you are close to the edge of in a final, you've got a chance of winning, and a little bit of adrenaline in your arm. At least you're playing uphill.
Correct.
You can play to it a little bit. Dan's got to open this up. What a good effort this is. That's a great ball. That's a great ball. If he manages to get out, it'll be because of that ball.
It's that kind for Josh. He's got everything there, hasn't he?
Yeah, and if it's a fairly straight mark, as long as he doesn't overforce it.
He's played over the top.
Not even reached.
Oh dear.
Not even reached.
It's a poor ball, really.
Got to be a little bit carried down, but I do think he still needs to be trying to squeeze that second ball in. 19-16.
Dan's not short here. Dan's not short here.
Well. His smile's a wry smile there, but 17-19.
Thriller.
It is now. It's going all the way.
What do you think, Tom?
I think he'll just go into that far corner now, near the clubhouse entrance. But no, he's committing to this particular mark. I think it is one of those greens where when you are close to the middle, you've got a long way to at least two of the corners, if not all three corners.
I think Dan may have come thumb this time, where
the
the previous
like
two times he's come into this corner, I think they've been from the middle of the green. He's been finger.
The longer he stays in it, the more he's going to believe.
Good ball, good lead.
18-inch, just shy of a length.
Yeah, he's caught Josh round the corner here.
A few people creeping out of the club now for the final few minutes of the match. Nice to see.
Dan doesn't really need a good bowl here, does he? Just something a yard about, asked a question.
It's all right. Licks one, he licks them both, though.
think he's slightly underneath.
Oh, it's a really big leg.
Wow. That's three.
Yep.
3 big hits that I can remember in this game now.
I mean, you can't say he didn't give it a chance, and there was a lot to hit, lot to connect. But to pick out the ball like that and score 20-17, when that misses goes through a gap, it's 19 apiece. This is where we'll see how he's feeling then, Jesse, with this particular lead. Has he got a tight shoulder now, or is he feeling quite confident?
Come away well. He's not there. He's not there.
Just a couple of balls short. Just that little tightness of believing that you're bowling for victory, and just easy, just to tighten up a touch.
Dan tells his bowl to go.
It's all right.
Good.
It's a good bowl. Left a nice little gap as well. Can't go too keen at this, can't Josh? Because if he does, he's leaves an easy 2.
He's having a
so
look
he's just trying to draw one.
He's having a look
trying to draw one.
What a marvellous ball.
Yeah,
good ball.
That's a great shot. If that ball wins him the tournament, it just sums up his day. He's played really, really well. Dan's got one shot now to save the match. Still watching it. Still watching it. Oh, it's just dipped underneath.
Josh Bradburn.
Yep, 21-17. He's probably been the strongest player on the day in terms of consistency throughout it, with a 21-12 win against Chris Mordew, 21-18 against Scott Harris, a memorable 21-16 against Callum Raitt, and finishes off with 21-17 against Dan Taylor in the final. Josh Bradbury is the PML Burway Open 2026 winner, and will go home this evening with £1,300. Thanks very much, Jesse. What's going to happen now with the presentation? Is it on the green or is it in the club?
I think we were on about doing the presentation outside. With it dropping so cold, I think we're going to go inside and do the presentation. Thanks again, yourself and Sam, for travelling down. We really do appreciate it, and hopefully...
Thanks for taking the time to get in touch and make it all happen. It's been a really good day. It's been a really good field. Lots of high-quality bowling. I'm sure that those are watching them on YouTube or catching up this week on the darker evenings will enjoy the footage and the event that we've seen. So thanks, Jesse. Thanks for your time on comms. It's been an absolute pleasure. And for everybody watching at home, please do like and subscribe to our Facebook page. And if any competition organisers out there are interested in having their finals streamed, then please get in touch with us. Love to have a chat and make a few things happen.
I'd rather